All right, here we go once again. It's going to be a fun one. First off, right out of the gate, the search box, I'm on this PR from LinUtil, super, or I should call it Link's Toolbox. Someone said actually in a foreign language, LinUtil means useless, which is kind of hilarious to me. Because it starts off useless, but let's just see. I'm not changing the project name. We're past that point. But there's a search feature now that I saw from a thing, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So you can actually search whatever you're looking for, and once we add more to it, and then also specify each category. Oh, it's just, so much cool stuff. I can't wait to dive into this. And yeah, it should be a fun one. And I I love chat this morning too. Y'all are making me laugh. I have this top-down shot as we start, and I do have a really bad receding hairline. It's unfortunate. If you get into your 40s, you're just happy to have hair. So, I get it. Y'all are hilarious, though. Hyperland stream today. I think we're gonna... we gotta do Hyperland, too. Ooh, should we do a double stream? I feel like Hyperland's not gonna fit in because I really wanted to tackle this feature on here. A couple other housekeeping things before we get into anything as well. WinUtil is getting flagged by Defender again. I'm seeing a lot of reports that it's getting denied from the IRM. A couple thoughts here. I just need to probably pay the ransom to Microsoft on this one. And that is... And there's a thought process here. There's a build feature in GitHub that you can subscribe with, like Microsoft Azure, to do direct signing. And then the code signing, you just pay the monthly fee, or ransom as I like to call it, to them, and then your code will be signed. And that should hopefully alleviate it, but even then it's kind of like a crapshoot whether or not it gets flagged or not. Whole Windows, the jank is real, and I get it. I get it. And I understand why it gets flagged. And the code signing makes sense to me. From most people with malware, obviously, are going to pay money for that type of thing. But I don't know. It's just a thought process I had rattling around my brain, hopefully getting around things. So, yeah. How you doing today? Fantastic. I gotta say, I absolutely am just having an amazing day. Yesterday, I was really tired, but today, I'm feeling just energized. I gotta say. Can't we crowdfund the certification thing? I mean, pretty much. I would just pay for it, guys. It wouldn't be anything that I need to crowdfund for it, because I think it's like, in the end, it ends up being like $20 or $30 a month. So it's not like, as much as I'm complaining about it, I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, I'm just like so frugal with, I hate monthly subscriptions. Hey, subscribe to my channel, pay me monthly. I do appreciate it. Also, thank you so much, Murray, for the Prime earlier. Yeah, and I get it. And it's just the cost of doing business, I think. So not that big of a deal as well. Living on 3 hours of sleep. Oh, Phoenix, that sucks, bro. I got like a 5.5 hours of sleep last night. I have a confession to make. I've been playing the living crap out of Path of Exile. I know, just burning the candle at both ends. Man, this new stupid expansion from Path of Exile with the stupid towns, it just, oh, my OCD loves it. And I've already beaten the entire Path of Exile game in the last 2 to 3 days whenever the expansion launched. And I'm already on mapping, going through it. I just absolutely love that new Path of Exile expansion. God, that game, it's just too good. Might have another Age of Empires 4 on my hands where I'm like, all right, well, I have to quit this game. I like it too much. That's what happened with Age of Empires 4. I was like, okay, as soon as it starts to enter my mind while I'm doing work, I know I have to quit it. That sucks. So I'm not quite there. I think Path of Exile is a nice chill game I can still play on like the Steam Deck laying down and not get too involved. Where Age of Empires 4, I think the big problem was I had to be at my computer staring at the screen, and that cuts into my work time, and that's not cool. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how I got on that rant. Yeah, Yeah, the township thing, it's quite the whopper. Agreed. Oh, man, I love it, though. So love it. Can't wait for the new Diablo 4 DLC. You know, Diablo 4, I gotta say, I loved Diablo 2. Absolutely the GOAT, right? Diablo 2 was my jam. Diablo 3 also hooked me pretty good. A little bit cartoony. Diablo 4 has just been a massive letdown. It feels like a soulless game to me. I can't quite place it. It seems like a well-designed and everything. It feels like there was a checkbox and they had a checklist and they were like, check, check, check. We'll get to it in a patch or two. Check, check. And that's what Diablo 4 feels like. So it doesn't feel like there's any soul to the game. There's no heart in the game. It feels very much like a corporate meh. And I really love Diablo, so I don't know. Hopefully they can turn it around. I know this last patch was better, but I jumped back in and I just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't grabbing me. Diablo 4, I don't think is. Sahal, thanks for the resub. You're at 4 months now. Hell yeah. And I gotta say, we got another stream coming in. Probably, well, we got to get the Hyperland stream in this week. So if we get through everything today, I think Hyperland will be Thursday. So don't hate me for pushing Hyperland back. But I think there's a couple things I really wanted to try out with Hyperland. And I'm like, ooh, that'll be interesting. I think I actually saw a comment like, don't use Xorg with Hyperland. And I'm like, you can't. Hyperland is Wayland only. So we're definitely going to use Wayland when we do it. That'll be fun. Yeah. Yeah. All right. NixOS win. In it, we got to revisit some of that. I'll probably load it up on like a VM, fire it back up, see how it goes. Hellfire is fun, but isn't the company that makes it soulless? What's their name again? I don't know. I think the actual publishers was the problem with Hellfires because Sony published it, but the actual developers of Helldivers, I think were okay. I don't know. Oh, what do we got, Calum? Let me missed a message. Let's see. Calum, do the docs things and settings. Oh, let's see. Probably not, as he will want to change all things are safe and will not do anything that will damage systems. Yeah. So I'm never going to add trusted people to PRs. So all my projects, I want the final word to deny or accept a pull request. I'm never going to turn over that ability. It's just something I want to, that's just how it is. Like if you want to say, hey, I want to do my own pull request and just get it immediately merged, you got to do a fork. I never will turn over the ability to accept pull requests, especially with how many people use my projects, as I never want any malicious code making its way to end user computers and having my name on it. So that's why I'm very specific with both Linux Toolbox and Windows Utility. I understand just having one person in the chain is problematic for development. But at the same time, I'm very obsessed with quality, and I just will never turn over that thing. And if that means I do less YouTube videos so I can do more PRs, so be it. I'll sacrifice that. I absolutely have to have it myself. Tux, thanks for the tier 1. Yeah, and my name's on the project, so I just can't turn over anybody excepting pull requests. I mean, helping with the issues and other stuff, I totally get it, and I love the people that help, whether it's Calum, OG. I mean, there's so many people in the projects that help so much, so I really appreciate you guys. Drift User's been really big. Martin's been real big lately, and there's been just so many great collaborators that have come and gone. A lot of developer Derp for run spaces and Windows Utility was just instrumental. And then, he's like, hey, I got actual job, and he's kind of moved away, and I don't hear from Derp very much these days. But I mean, people come and go to a lot of these projects, and I just appreciate any contribution, anything. And heck, if you want to leave for a year or two and then come back, I'm good with that too. So it's just whatever you can do. It's really not meant to be another job for you. It's just meant to be fun for people. There are some nice PRs in DWM Titus. Ooh, we'll have to take a look at that too. Got so much stuff to do. So much. So little time. I gotta stop playing so much Path of Exile and get back to work. I'm so lazy this summer. I'm sorry. I'm just failing. I am such a failure. Yeah. Any interest in Vanilla OS? Vanilla OS is interesting. Any kind of immutable distro I always look forward to. Kind of interested. I don't know. When it comes down to it, I don't think, like, here, let's just, I don't know. I really love this. This setup right here. I look forward to coming in here, sitting down, and then just staring at my fast fetch, and it's saying Arch Linux. It speaks to my soul. It says, Titus, you're home. And I think that's just where I've landed. I don't see myself moving. It's been many months now. No, over 3. We're sitting here staring at the OS age, 94 days. That's a record for me. And I don't feel like moving at all, you know? But I mean, I still love Debian, and I still use a lot of these other distros. Like, you know, I had the K-Focus laptop in here the other day. It was in Kubuntu. You know, honestly, I don't really care that much which system I'm on. I just want to be able to do all my work. And I've gotten to the point where it doesn't matter what distro I'm on, I can do my work. So I'm pretty happy. But then again, check back in a month. You never know with me. It's only a matter of time before I blow things up. How many packages do I have installed, I wonder? I probably should do a package count. That's what we're missing on this fast fetch, a package count. That truly is the measure of the length of your neck beard. Lower number, obviously, be even better. Oh, we got my bash, we got DWM to check, we got LinUtil, we've got Windows util. We've got quite a bit to check. I think let's start with LinUtil, branch out into DWM Titus and my bash, and see where we end up here, because there's some cool stuff. Now, as I learn more Rust, which I am still reading Rust and going through and learning more each day, it's really interesting. This one right here, the chore build LinUtil against MUSL library. I think this is the one where LJ and Linux user goes back and forth. Oh, no, that was a different one, actually. Which one was it? I think it was this one. Yeah. So this was such a cool back and forth, and I actually didn't really have anything. And I might actually end up rejecting this pull request, but I love this pull request so much because there's just a bundle of knowledge between these two contributors going back and forth, talking about how best to do this. And I kind of lean more towards LJ's comments here, especially with it being more of a POSIX compliant, making sure it's bin sh and not using source and using dot to actually do these. And I think actually just Linux user did go back and fix this because if you're unfamiliar, source and then sourcing the file directly in is not actually POSIX compliant. That means it has to run in bash prompt. So if it's in a different prompt, it's not gonna work properly. So important to note. And then, but I already knew that. When it gets more in the weeds down here, there's some really cool stuff that happens with this conversation, them kind of going back and forth. And I know some of this kind of goes, some of it kind of feels a little bit, if you take out the emotions of some of these comments, I really did enjoy just the knowledge flow back and forth here, which is great. As long as you take out your ego here, I don't think very many people get offended by some of it, because some people will be like, no, this is wrong. Like I think LG was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And then just Linux user takes that criticism and goes, okay, what about this, this, and this? And then, I kind of want to fight back on this point. I want to push this forward. And I kind of like this. I love this back and forth. And this is probably the best. This is probably what I love the most about open source here. Not even committing code, not even reviewing code, but honestly, just seeing two like developers kind of go back and forth discussing what is the best path forward, and then kind of absorbing, because there's knowledge to learn from both of them, and I love it. Now, going back here, I'm trying to look. We'll look at the actual code here, exactly what happened. But I want to say changed a few things. He split out that config simplicity. Yeah, so just Linux user was making too big of a PR, which usually is a sign of it getting rejected. LJ was trying to reel him in a little bit, which is good. It kind of goes back and forth. Yeah. Do you think this PR is something that needs to be changed or added? No problem if you do. Added search bar and structure. Yeah. So let's look. Rick, thanks for the new sub. Brad, all right. Tier 1. Very brand new tier 1. Don't see those every day. All right. So the TOML file, we add a couple new dependencies. We have include directory and temp directory. Then a new binary. Then for the Alacrity script, we have the .common script that's getting loaded on the front end. So what he's doing here, the gist of this PR, is he's removing the concatenation. Remember how I spoke up and it was like concatenation and being able to combine the common with these others are great. Instead here, he's adding these include directory and temp directory and then pulling the files directly in instead of concatenating them into one. Probably a performance improvement by not doing concatenation, which is cool. And I kind of go back and forth here on it. The big thing here is I kind of like concatenation. That's the big thing where I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm not certain I want to source it instead of concatenating it. That's where I'm kind of like a little bit of a crossroads with this. As for me, I actually kind of preferred the old way of doing it with the common script and concatenating the two together. I got you. His way is more organized and scalable in case you need to source multiple files. I think that makes sense. I get what you're saying, Pickley. What does the bash thing in LinUtil does? It just themes out your bash prompt. It basically just installs Starship, and then I think was it Oh My Posh on there as well? Oh no, sorry, that's PowerShell. Is Starship, and then just some basic themings, and then it adds all my aliases and functions into here. Also installs Zoxide and other quality of life features for bash prompt to make it useful. Also installs like fast fetch and other things instead of just the bland neo fetch. So we have that, and then he's added a couple. See, the thing I love about Linux user is a lot of times he's adding extra functionality. Specifically, hey, this is a source local file and this is a raw command, and he gives nice example commands that I'm going to just delete or comment out. But I love the fact he does that. So then I know, hey, I could easily source this using a command raw or a command local file. And then is there anything else? What are we doing on, yeah, the raw command's just doing the bash. So it's really local file and raw on this source instead of concatenation. Okay. And then draw state app state, and then the push. So I think we can check this one out and just run it, take a look at it, make sure everything works the way we want it to work, and check to see if there's anything that we might change here. I do like this though. And we're adding a couple new app state, temp directory, and themes. I kind of wonder how much this bloats it up with these extra libraries coming in. And I'm not even sure I'm using the proper terminology calling them libraries, but that's how I see it. All right. And then we're redrawing, changing this with the size and state. So he's adding a state here as well. I need to look at exactly why this app state's getting included. And create command, and then we have this. There's a lot going on with this PR still. It's not a lot, but I would prefer this to get broken up a little more. But let's take a peek at it. I'm kind of curious to see. It does look a lot more concise, and I do appreciate the look at it. So let's see. Let's just come on over here. Let's go back to the main branch. Oh yeah, Fuzzy Finder is also an absolute needed one. How to actually reboot and another one to shut down. You should just be able to do like a power off or a reboot command. You can also call it from systemctl. It depends on the distro though. That's another thing about DWM. What is the more universal way to reboot and power off a machine? Because power off works great in Arch, but let's say you go over to like Debian, I want to say like systemctl power off or suspend has to be in front of it. Sometimes it requires elevation, sometimes it doesn't. I'm trying to think of a more universal way of including shutdown and restart commands on each window manager. Yeah, shutdown command. Yeah, Debian's using USR, which is user system resources, sbin reboot. Yeah, but it does require sudo. Yeah, on Arch, both the power off and reboot commands by default don't require sudo. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, you know, Petsod, I always recommend if you're going to try out like a new window manager or something like that. I mean, with DWM, it's just like such a small footprint. Worst case, you just boot back into your other window manager. So it's not like a whole desktop environment. Pickley, thanks for the prime. So that's something to think about too in the future for DWM, kind of circling back. So if anybody ever comes up with a more elegant solution, I guess we could do like a switch statement, find the exact distribution or distribution like, and then say, okay, this one does require sudo, or we do a system modification so those power off commands don't require elevation. That's probably the more elegant solution, because you don't want obviously every time you power off to enter in like a sudo password. That would be ridiculous. So yeah, few things there kind of rattling around. What tool do you use for Linux, Mint, or any other distro to make screen annotations? Flameshot's my go-to for screenshotting and kind of marking up the screenshots. I love Flameshot. And for just screen annotations in general, you know, Excel Draw, I really love. Just kind of, if I just need like a whiteboard type solution, I like to go that route as well. Yeah, we don't want to use LinUtil to shut down, but we can set it up to run a script to kind of fix things. Specifically like DWM Titus is where I'm thinking that the script would be applicable. So it's not going to like launch LinUtil to shut down. That's ridiculous. But if you are using like DWM Titus, it is some solution we do need to think about to really fix. All right, I think what we're going to do here is pull up our PRs. Let's look at this one. This was the search bar we were just coming from. This right here is the big PR we are looking at. Let's check it out. Let's do a cargo run. I kind of want to see where this goes, what it looks like. And I hope he updated it. If he didn't update, I'll have to do changes, request changes and have him update it. But let's see where we're at. Okay, I like it. So yeah, this needs to be updated to the current version. I really like that 83. We could accept this PR though. Let's do a full system update. Ah, well, it doesn't even work. This is why we check out things before we do it. Since I'm not really that good with Rust, you're gonna see me using this checkout, flipping back and forth quite often. So a lot of these PRs will go slower on the Linux Toolbox just because I'm not really that familiar with Rust. So as we learn more and more, I still think this is a good PR. It's just not quite ready for prime time. So the common how this is doing it, or the concatenation is fine. So let's switch back to main. Let's pull down that and cargo run. So we do full system stuff. So the concatenation is working just fine over here on the main branch. So the common script, probably the common script will have them update from there. I do want to check out this search functionality first as well. How far in the Rust book? Chapter 5, Phoenix, out of 20. Primogen, I love that guy. You don't read much, huh? No, I'm slow. I'm a slow reader. Not quite so big brain. But it's about just making progress. Oh, no. Oh, that's never good. All right, let's come outside and let's try it out here. Wouldn't be a Titus stream without updating Arch, huh? What's going on? See, this is why you don't install Microsoft.NET on your system and Arch. The Arch gods will smite thee. So originally, as a goof, I thought about making a video just to kind of make everybody lose their minds in Linux, where I was going to install .NET and run the entire Linux toolbox from .NET and C#. I actually got I wouldn't say very far, but I did have a basic menu with a functional one that ran commands. It was not pretty, and it was ugly as sin, but at the same time, it did somewhat function. It's just like, why would you do that? And the only reason was because I felt like it. So that was the whole purpose. All right, well, we purged the .NET SDK that was apparently failing to update. It's probably some Microsoft issue. Windows brain, yeah. Don't mix your Windows too much with your Linux. That's never a good idea. First time chatter, long time watcher. Well, welcome. Always good to have new people jump into chat. .NET and Linux. God bless. Well, we just purged it. So hopefully that sacrifice to the Linux gods will appease them, and this update will go through without a hitch. Any chance you could do a version of this for Asahi Linux distributions? For the M series, also for ARM-based stuff. Yeah, breaking rad, the big thing here is making sure it's ARM compatible. So eventually, yes, not just Asahi, but also, am I even saying that right? Probably not, but I like saying Asahi. Sounds cool. Anyways, also Raspberry Pi is ARM-based as well. So pulling in those ARM-based repos and grabbing those other files in that format, I think would be kind of fun. So yeah, I think we can get there. Add them in. Oh, you doing LinUtil with Boba Tea? Oh, Raz, I can't wait to see what you come up with. It'll be interesting. Yeah, the Pi is such a great one. Like a lot of Windows users out there, they're like, oh, you know, that Linux stuff looks really complicated. One, it looks complicated, but it's really not. It's pretty basic. Like I think of some Windows problems that is just maddening. Like anytime you have to dive into like Active Directory and that kind of craziness of Windows, especially when you get into like domain controllers and how Windows manages things. I mean, it was written by a crackhead, and understanding that is crazy. So a lot of the problems I run into Linux, it's just so much easier than the business side of dealing with Windows. A lot less maddening because Windows has so many weird, like, undocumented little glitches, I want to call them. I mean, they would call them features probably, but it's just a weird experience. So don't ever feel like Linux it's just different really compared to Windows, and I like it in a good way. And Raspberry Pis are fantastic for learning. So don't just wipe out your system and load Linux. Get a Raspberry Pi, load it up, have like a little switch or something to go back and forth between the two. Get used to it on a Pi first and kind of tinker around. There's so many really cool Linux projects that you can put on your Pi and have fun with and get familiar with it there. And then think of like dual booting, and then from a dual boot, maybe go into full-timing it. Hey, anybody that has messed with like Active Directory in Windows knows I'm telling the truth, okay? I don't know what they were smoking at Microsoft in the late 90s, early 2000s when Active Directory was conceived. I mean, it's really impressive with what they came up with as an end result to the users, but having to administer that stuff, like, oh my God, NetDOM and the replication between domain controllers, wow, it's gross. It's just totally gross. Fismo roles. Like, who came up with the structure of this thing? It was just like you dive it deep into the Windows realm. There's a lot going on in the background that people just do not realize. So whenever I see a complex issue in Linux, I'm always like, well, at least it's not Active Directory. You know? Dude, just Linux user paste something in. I missed it. Of course. Let me scroll up and get. Oh, here we go. Hey, I can't hear you. I am on the bus. How long are you going to be on the stream? I think I will fix the PR about 30 minutes from now. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Thumbs up, Just Linux user. We got you. Boot up Windows ME. Oh my gosh. We do not talk about Windows ME. I still have PTSD from Windows ME. Was hilarious because every single update made it worse. It just blue screened more with every update. Yeah, I think that probably the Windows version that gets the most hate that actually was improved quite a bit by Service Pack 2 and onward. Vista was not bad. It was really not. At the end there, after a couple of years, once it was fully baked, and it was like on Service Pack 2 or more, Vista was actually a decent OS. I'll die on that hill. It's true. But then Windows 7 came along, and it was, you know, the rest is history. What phone would you recommend? Yeah. Oh God, can I show this on stream? Can I show it on stream? Here's my cell phone pick of the day. You ready for this? You ready for, oh wait, actually, just so I don't dox myself, I gotta look it up. Where was it? I got this, 1 second. I got something for y'all. You're gonna love it. Oh, what was it? It was phone. Let me just look up phone. I'm ordering it. I'm a backer in this ridiculous project. Where is it? Here it goes. Yes, here it is. 1 second. It's in my email, so I can't show it on stream, but it's called the Minimal Phone, and I'm pulling it up. 1 second. Here we go. This is the phone of the future. Oh yeah, the Minimal Phone. Here we go.
In a world where we are all so consumed in social media, Minimal gives us that escape that we need, allowing us to complete our essential tasks while keeping us motivated to move forward. Living life the way it's intended. Be more productive, be more aware, be minimal.
Hi, I'm Andre Ukana, co-founder of the Minimal Company.
Yeah, so the Minimal Phone is gonna be my new phone. It's a live more, scroll less, all e-ink, 20-day battery life. This is where it's at. Yeah, so good. 4:3 ratio, aspect ratio, 4.3 inches. Not gonna improve any. Anywho, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for it. I already backed this project, so I have it on the way. Whenever it releases, this is where I'm going. I love it. So, anyways, I'm obsessed with having like just a super minimal phone. In these days, I really don't have my phone with me very much. But I just always obsessed with like the e-ink screen and just having a phone that lasts more than a week. I really love that idea. And also, I don't want to be able to pull up videos on my phone. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I really like this. It's just so darn cool from an aspect of I really want to just have the phone to maybe check my email every once in a while, make a phone call, and then nothing else. Maybe a couple apps, like maybe call it Uber if I'm like traveling or something. But I really don't want anything else from my phone, but I do want some like decent picture taking capabilities. It's always like this little gotchas that get you. And I think with the e-ink screen, it'll cause it to not get obsessed with my phone. I did not blow $700 on this. It was $400. Okay. I'm a YouTuber. These are YouTuber problems. Is this phone going to be good? Probably not. It's probably going to suck. More than anything has sucked in its life. But there's a chance. There's a chance it might not suck. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it if it is. It's not awful. Will it be awful? Probably. It probably will be just hot garbage. But, man, I dig that. What distro are you using? Arch. It's a pocket ebook reader. You're not wrong. It can call an Uber too. It can take pictures. It's basically just like a super powered ebook reader. I think is probably the best way to explain it. When do you think you're going to go attack Arch Titus? Ooh, geez. Soon? I think once school starts back up. This summer I've been super unproductive, and I'm sorry for that. But we are making progress, little by little. All right, so we've discovered this PR is no good. Let's move to the next PR. I think let's go back to the search PR. I'm going to merge that. I want to use that PR, and I feel like that one's going to be just chef's kiss kind of thing. I love this idea from Alfonso. Oh, it's just so good. I even love this little screen recording he added to it. I love the new customization from the application setup and system setup. It's much more intuitive than my design. So fixing just the organization of the list and then adding the search feature, that's just clutch. I just chef's kiss, man. It's probably one of my favorite PRs and something we started this stream out showing this, and I just want to accept this. I just want to look through the code real fast, just checking to see if there's anything else I need to look at. But from the filter function that he's added to the search bar, he's done it in a pretty minimal way where it's not a lot of extra bloat, which is I really appreciate. We can see the use here, just adding that extra block, the search input and search mode. And here's drawing the search frame. And that's it. I mean, God bless. I just love this PR so much from Alfonso. I'm going to accept this one. We've already run it and checked it out. It is time to approve and merge. I love it. So now that we've done that, let's pull down them changes, cargo run, and this is the new setup. Now first, let's go ahead and run our system update just to make sure. A little geotanning. Yeah, Phoenix. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it so much. It's more of the smaller PRs that do the one thing and just do it well that I just love. It's so hard to get like a really good developer to just focus on one feature, push it out, and just say, here's the PR for it. A lot of really good developers will try and bundle too much. And it's like, okay, well, that's kind of hard to review because it's just doing too much and I can't really test each individual feature. So when one fails, I have to deny all the others. I'm like, crap, I really like that other thing in the PR, but this one thing kind of screwed it up, so I have to deny the whole, it's like one bad apple ruins the bunch kind of thing. So that's why it's really important to make one PR that just does one thing and does it well. So important whenever you're doing it. So full system update works. Let's build prereqs. What do we got here? Already exists and is not an empty directory. Ooh. Here's another thought I've had too. I don't know how big we want this project to grow. I really do like having these extra repos, but no, I'm not going to finish that thought. It's already, we already got enough on the plate. We'll come back to that in a month. I'm going to just throw that in the back of my mind. Let's keep moving. Go! Tech Zero's in the house. What's up, man? Let's see. Have you ever had an issue with the Arch Linux keyring? If you've ever used Arch for any extended period of time, you've had issues with the Arch Linux keyring. There's only people that have had issues with the Arch Linux keyring and then liars. There's no in between. There really isn't. If you used Arch more than 30 days at any period in the past, those are the two camps out there. I'm sorry. I love Arch, but yeah, it's just the truth. Oh, people have been submitting issues from my bash and NeoVim into LinUtil. All right, Bickley. I'm gonna have to finish that thought I was gonna archive for a month ago. Yeah, as you can see, chat, really, everyone's had a keyring issue in Arch once upon a time. If you've used Linux for any extended period of time in Arch, you've had issues with it. The big thing is making sure you're updating the keyring. You can reinitialize it, you can flush it, but sometimes, especially in the past, like 2-3 years ago, there's times where if you didn't update for months on an end, there's a good chance you just break Arch into 1,000 pieces and there's no getting it back. I will say, I think the Arch teams really stepped up their game in the past year, because I usually would have broken Arch like 10 times by now, and I haven't yet broken it so bad I couldn't get it back. So that says something. So I think Arch really has. Was your Xeon processor like 1600? Well, what was my Xeon processor? Well, I think it was, it was a W5 3435X. This processor, I think, retails for around 1,500. You could probably get it on eBay less than 1,000 if you could find it used. This is pretty new though, and I got this specifically from superworkstations.com. Thanks for the sponsorship, because I mentioned them in a video. They wanted to like pay for like some sponsorship. I'm like, no, I don't do that. I don't do sponsorships. But what you can do is send me this entire system, and then I keep the system, and then I mention you. So every once in a while I drop their name. Yeah. Skill issue, Arch user says. I love this response. That is the best response ever. Arch user, skill issue. I love it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was probably using Arch wrong. Font Meslo LGS. One of my favorites. So one could say I got it for free. Oh, damn. I'm sorry to hear about that, Tech Zero. Oof. Check issue 31. Okay, let's see what we got. Issue 31. Which repo? So many repos. Ooh. Couple little options here, too. Ooh, DWM install option, too. Issue, not PR. Okay. I was about to say, All right, 31, no license. Oh, I fixed this. Yes. Ended up just doing, yeah, CCO is a non-license. That means it's public domain. MIT is good. So people get carried away in a lot of open source projects with licensing and code of conduct and that type of thing. My code of conduct's really simple. Don't be just be a decent human being. That's all I'm asking. And then for the licensing, I like MIT. I don't care too much. So if you want to like see a snippet of my code and you want to use it for your business, just use it. It's cool. I don't care. Just don't sue me, bro. And that's what really MIT does for me. So I'm very, very open with most of my licensing. I really lean heavily on the MIT license. And then I usually don't have any kind of code of conduct in any of my repos. Other than, if someone gets out of hand or starts doing silly stuff, I just ban them. I don't want any drama. So that's my thing. No drama. As soon as drama enters the picture, I'm like, nope, I'm out. A lot of people have actually been talking about like choppy streams and things like that when it comes to streaming. Twitch has this weird thing. If you hit the refresh button and you refresh the stream, it won't be choppy. So I think there's like some shenanigans going on with a lot of the live streaming on Twitch, but I've also had the issue on YouTube as well, where sometimes a refresh from YouTube also happens. So yeah, you use MIT because it's default. I can neither confirm nor deny that. I am just lazy and I don't want to read more than 2 paragraphs. And the MIT license is very, very short. I'm like, okay, that looks like I can't get in trouble with that license. Let's do that. It's fair. Short. It's very, very short. Well, GNU v3 is also very good, but it's very long. So MIT license is literally this. You put the year, copyright holder, which is like Chris Titus Tech, and just says, hey, you can use it without limitation for rights, use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribution, sublicense, sell copies of software, permit persons to use this software to furnish to do so, and subject to the following conditions. And basically just like, hey, everything's as is. Don't sue me. You can use it. Have fun with it. You want to use it in your business. You want to sell it. You want to do whatever. Have at it. I don't care. And that's kind of where I'm at. But you can't sue me for claims or damages or that type of thing if something goes terribly wrong with my code. Because Lord knows that has happened. All right. Should merge now. Did you get the search thing I just merged? Just Linux user? I gotcha. What do you even have to use a license? That's a good point, Ty. So you don't necessarily have to use a license, but you want to use a license. Specifically, the MIT I really like because it's just like a CYA thing. There's crazy people in this world. I didn't understand there was crazy people in this world coming from the business world. Me and my sheltered self has always worked for another business, and I've usually done their IT, and I would like to think I'm pretty good at doing that, doing it for 20-something years. But in that sheltered state, I never really interacted that much with like the huge, vast amount of the public. And there is crazy people in this world, super crazy, that will literally, dude, some of the emails I've gotten have been kind of wild. I'm like, dang, somebody's off their meds. And I didn't realize that type of person exists. The MIT license is there just to say, you can't sue me for publicly distributed code. Without a license, you don't really have anything there for protection. You can say, hey, you took my code and then something you modified and then things went wrong. Well, that's on you, right? Well, yeah, everyone knows that. But there's still, if there's no license, there's still an actual recourse from that person to come back and actually sue you. I know that sounds crazy, but it could happen. Where the MIT gives you some form of protection. Yukara, thanks for the tier 1, resubbing 2 months in a row. All right, man. What do you recommend for setting up Fedora like you have Arch set up regarding Polybar, Window Manager, and everything? I followed your tutorial on making Fedora server into a minimal desktop. Oh man, that was a good video. I love making it. With Polybar and Window Manager, but it was a pain to set up. Is there any bash scripts you plan on adding LinUtil for this? Yeah. So the big thing, Yukara, that I've done specifically with LinUtil is I really wanted to make things easier for everybody to make a one button click and go. Now for window management and like the bar you see up here, all this, right, that you see, it's all just one. How many kilobytes is that now? Let's go. Let's take a peek. I probably should pull down any changes. The DWM right now is at 111 kilobytes. That's everything you see on the screen. That's this pop bar. That's how it manages the windows. All of that is done with that one executable, that one binary file. All the configurations combined into that file. So there's actually no configuration file really. If you want to change something in the configuration, you got to recompile the binary. Sounds kind of archaic, but I love it. Because once you get everything working, it just works. And I love that it's not, hey, go download 50,000 packages and then configure this way and this way and this way. Oh, you forgot to line 53 in the config file. It's this. None of that. It just works. And that's why I love like just DWM and its simplicity. So to answer your question with Fedora, whether it's Fedora, Arch, Debian, we're going to make a lot of compatibility across the board for DWM and fix a lot of that. So appreciate it. Thanks for the sub. You have animations now? Yes. I am such a DWM nerd. I agree. But we're gonna be exploring Hyperland soon. Seeing what old Vactory's been up to. Please review boxes from GNOME. Ew. People use boxes from GNOME? Why? Ooh, brother. Ooh. Oh. Threw up in my mouth a little bit. You mentioned them boxes. Gross. I know. Poor GNOME. God bless. If I had roasted GNOME so bad, System 76 probably wouldn't hate me. But I always make fun of anything with GNOME or GNOME attached. So I'm pretty sure all the people at System 76 hate me. I'm always like, oh, they use GNOME though. Yeah, I guess it looks okay at the end, but it's based on GNOME. Gross. But Cosmic's coming out. I can't wait to try that. I think they've already released the beta for Cosmic, so I can't wait to try it. I use boxes dies. Hey, if it's working for you, that's fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. God, no. Hey, Chris, I used LinUtil on my granddad's computer today. It went from unstable to perfectly good. Nice. I love hearing those stories. You made me ditch installing Lubuntu, downloading it. I've always really liked the Lubuntu. It's a decent, lightweight distro. Relatively polished right out of the box. I don't use a desktop environment in Arch. Not a big fan of desktop environments these days. I'm more of a minimal as possible. Oh, unmerge 82. Oh man, I like that one. But I need to unmerge it? What's wrong with the conflicts? I need to unmerge it and then come back. All right. I guess we can do that. Let's rewind it. What's the best way to we can't really unmerge. We just got to rewind. LinUtil should support almost every OS out there eventually. We'll see how they do it. The big ones that it's going to have problems supporting is the immutable distributions. Immutable or atomic or whatever acronym distribution makers want to make. Those are going to be the hardest ones to support. But I'll do my best. Git reset head _3. Really? So could I just pull the cache right here? Like let's say sync from main. I think this one was the last. So if we look at this is the commit hash right here. So I could grab this commit hash, copy it, and then do a git reset hard commit hash right here. So let's go LinUtil. Let's do a pull. Then we do a git reset -- hard commit hash here. So something like that, right? Look at that. So this would rewind back to this one, undoing this. So what we've done, just in case anybody else has a Git project, and let's say you've blown something up, like I have a tendency to do, you just come over to your main branch or whatever you're rewinding, click on your Git commits, you look at them and go, okay, well, this one was an auto commit action. This one was the actual PR we pulled in from Afonso, which was a search, which was amazing. And then we have the sync to main. So this one's really what we need to grab. So we grab this hash. So we copy that, and then, or we could just copy that actually. And then we just grab that commit hash, come over to here, go git reset -- hard space, and then the hash. So if we click that, and then we pull it down, we go cargo run, and now we're back to, no, that's not right. Let's rebuild. Let's clean it and rebuild. Okay. No, that's still not right. Oh, do not pull. Oops, my bad. Okay, git reset. So now we've reset to here. Now let's do a cargo run. Oops, no, cargo clean, cargo run. Now we should be fine. I'm still learning GitHub. It's been 3 years. I'm slow. We can establish I'm slow. Are you satisfied with the Z workstation? It's been what? 4 months? It's been actually a pretty good workstation. After disabling a lot of the HP BIOS shenanigans, old Wolf Security just comes and takes a dump on my doorstep about every month or two usually. But after disabling most of that extra bloat in the BIOS, I've really enjoyed the Z workstation. It's been very, very good to me. So yeah, I like it. I don't think this is the right one to go back to. HP Wolf Security Authority. I hate to tell you all this. I'm probably just going to go back to Chrome at this point. I'm so sick of the browser thing. I don't know. I'm just so beat down by all the different web browsers and all the different shenanigans over the bit. I feel like just rolling just straight Google Chrome. I know. I know everybody's ashamed of me by just saying that, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to be part of the problem. Nah, not even going to do Uncle Google Chromium. Go back to F1 FC19. Okay, let's see. Well, since we've rewinded, we should be able to be there, right? Let's look at our commits again. So that's this commit. Wouldn't that erase the other one though? Like if we look at the commits, there's this one. This one's from here. Oh, sync with main. What was this one? Okay, never mind. Alfonso was updating this on his branch. So let's do a git. Let's just grab this one. Git reset -- hard. Okay, so then we get that. So let's go cargo clean, cargo run. We should have the old one. Yes. All right. Yes. All right. We're good. Oh man, chat has just blown up. After just saying I'm just gonna go back to Google Chrome. Everybody has collectively lost their mind. All right, now just do a git push force. Okay, git push -- force. We force it. All right, we are back. Thanks for holding my hand there. But we all, I think at least somebody watching this has collectively gone, I get it now. I understand why people use git. That's really cool. You can just go back in time after you blow up something. It's kind of neat. Just Linux user wanted to submit the other one. So I think he was doing a new pull request. Let's see. Just Linux user. So we ran that. It failed. Let's take a peek again. So we have that. Let's come back over to here. Let's first eyeball the changes. It's still a little bit of a big submission. So let's see here. All right, let's go through it again. Cargo lock, we don't care about. Cargo toml, we got that. Do we need to do a git ignored on the cargo lock? I can't remember. I need to go reread that cargo section. I can't remember on the cargo lock. Anyways, neither here or there. It doesn't really matter. Adding these new libraries. We have a new path. Source, no, that's the same as it always has been. Now we're doing the dot and then / common script. Okay, so that's all the main ones. Then we have our test library. We have our main sh. These are just the test scripts. And then we're expanding the crate here with the app state and running command. We're no longer going to do the concatenation. And then we got our test categories. All that's fine. Now I'm just looking through this code real fast. I know I've already done it once, but believe it or not, it's how I learn. Just a little bit at a time. Handle key. Option command. Okay. What's the app state doing? That was the one thing I had a question for on just Linux user on that one. That looks good. Get selected command. Yep. And then, yeah, the added app state's the one thing I'm kind of like, I wonder what that's doing. Now let's check this out and run it and see what we get. We're drawing. It does look like it's definitely cut down on a lot of the code bloat over here by doing it this way, and also the expandability with these new commands. I do like the ability to do local file or raw. And what raw does is it looks like it does the prompt with the -c and then the command itself, which is kind of cool. I appreciate that. So that does look a lot cleaner from a code perspective compared to how we were doing it. All right. And here's the state. Application state, theming, and path buffering. App state is a struct passed around that contains the current theme and path to the temporary directory. Okay. That makes sense. So then in the future, we'll probably do some kind of theming, it just for expandability, but also to pull in the temp path as well, as we see as I got down to the bottom of the theme. And then we're basically removing most of the theme.rs file as well. You can see most of that getting stripped out and getting pushed over to the state. Okay, I like it. Let's come on and do our pull requests. And are we on main? We're on main. Okay, so let's come on to here. Let's go description. You can see we've got those changes. Let's check it out. And now you can see we're on this pull request. Let's just do a git pull. What happened here? Why do we have a push pull here? Why is it wanting me merge? Yeah, that's weird. All right, let's do a cargo clean, cargo run. Okay, so now we have that. Let's do our full system update. No love, no love. Oh, I'm not updated, but I can't pull. Let's just do a git stash, git pull. No, what the hell? All right, let's git switch main. Let's come back over to here. Let's just pull, git pull. All right, now let's try and bring this branch. We must not have been up to date. Let's try it again. All right, well, for a smooth brain people, let's just pull in GitHub Desktop. What is happening? All right, fetch. Let's just fetch the whole main branch, and then we'll just switch to it here. The local branch. That's what's happening. That's right. Thank you, Pickley. Skill issue. All right. GitHub Desktop. Why you? She's crapping the bed on me. Let's just delete that. Yes. Oh no. Let's just delete it here. This man, I have a lot of just old stuff just kind of hanging out. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Oh, that was just a Dependabot PR. No biggie. Oops. Just going through deleting everybody's PRs. Oh, God bless. I just had a Linus moment. All right, here we go. Let's quit out of that. Let's go get this. Okay. Did I actually delete that PR? I'm actually gonna refresh this. Let's see what happened on old GitHub. Yeah, I did. Actually, I deleted a PR for Python 4 to 5, which actually is problematic. I actually need to change the Dependabot while I'm here. Before I forget. Let's look at that workflow. Dependabot YAML. Yeah, let's edit this. Actually, let's cancel that. Let's come back to here. Let's synchronize changes and make sure that's okay. Okay, cool. Now, where's Dependabot? Ignore Python version 5 and above. That looks wrong. Wow. That is terrible. You pulled the wrong docs. All right, let's see if AI can fix this one on the Dependabot. Yeah, I fixed it in LinUtil. I just wanted to see. It should be okay. Okay, crackhead. It should only be for Python packages. I sincerely apologize. Oh, pip is not the same as Python. I could have coded this as a caveman, and faster than you could come up with the correct code. Which, by the way, it still is not correct. You have been smoking too much of that tech bro AI Twitter nonsense. Oh man. It still didn't get it right. Oh, you're terrible. Okay, well, Sonnet did a pretty good job when we were doing bash scripts, but good lord, way off on GitHub Actions. Let's bully AI until it becomes good. We're gonna be here a while. God bless. I saw. I think I brought it up on the last stream with that one guy who's like, I don't even need programmers anymore. I have Sonnet 3.5. All I have to do is just think about what I'm doing, and then maybe like the foundation or the outline, and then it just magically codes it for me. Really? I cannot believe people believe that crap. I am a complete noob at programming, and even I can see like massive shortcomings on some of the most basic crap that even a junior programmer would not make as a mistake. You give me a 16-year-old still in high school, and it's going to be a lot better than a lot of the junk that AI gives me. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Sorry for the rant. All right, let's just grab it from our old repo. like we did back in the olden days. Well, actually, we'd have a book with a bookmark, but we have GitHub, which is even better. So let's come here, Dependabot. So the actual proper way of doing this is this. Not even close. So you can see that, but that's a YAML. So that needs to be, spaces do matter. So this is what it should have done. Like, okay. Take it in. There you go, Sonnet. Take my feedback, AI bot. Oh man. I think he's gonna probably screw up my code next time I ask for its help. Okay. Anyways, that's the proper way to do Dependabot, so it should work. Yeah, I pay for Cursor. Cursor's neat just because I can flip back and forth between Jippity and Sonnet, Llama. I can try them all really easily with just a push of a button. So it's worth it $20 a month to mess around with all the LLMs. So, all right, here we go. We're good. Let's just say I'm not that concerned with the AI overlords taking over anytime seriously. So I'm not exactly the nicest to AI. So if I end up going missing here in like 5 to 10 years and the AI overlords have taken over like all the tech bros are saying is going to happen, well, you know what happened. I was not nice to them. But I think honestly, we're living through a time where most people don't realize that AI is just there for some learning and some teaching, but it's just like maybe like a 5 or 10% of coding tool to help speed things along a little bit if you know exactly what to use it for. But trying to use it for everything is just hysterically just going to lead to some awful consequences. Hyperland stream Thursday. Yes, Phoenix. Thursday we will do Hyperland for sure. All right, so that should fix those. We are now ignoring those dependent bots. I just wanted to fix that before we go too much further on LinUtil. And did we already pull this? All right, now we've pulled that. Let's go to our GitHub pull request. We're gonna check this one out. I feel like we should do like a refresh or something. Let's make sure on this one. Okay, so we have that. It's pulled 32 minutes ago. We should be able to check it out now. Okay. Now I do see some errors here. Oh, okay. That's just a blank file. And this one is also a blank file. Okay. Those are just tests. So if we come back to here, now we're on just Linux user. There isn't like, it's not an outdated old branch. So we're good. So now cargo run and we are in business. All right. So full system update. It's working as it should. Everything looks right with the world. Thanks for hanging with just Linux user. Me and my noob self and my rants that you have to put up with. I appreciate it. It should not be blank. Let's pull it in via cursor and we'll check it out. But let's finish the system update so I don't kill my system. I love that the fact that my go-to test for Linux utility is a system update in Arch. It's almost like I'm inviting bad things to happen to me. But my, oh my, how entertaining that is. Success. Wow, beautiful. All right. Now, yeah, I know. I love that. I was definitely that kid that played with fire. All right, let's look at the files because as just Linux user said, these should not be blank. These test files in lib.sh, they're not. It was just the pull request that was getting shown was showing that. So no worries, man. We're good. Let's go back to main branch. I think we can safely merge this now. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging in there. But this is a really good for just expandability from a foundational perspective. This back and forth, man, I just left it. It was so good. All right. So now, wait. Oh, okay. I was about to say force push. What did I force push? Force push. All right. Files changed. Let's approve these changes. We'll run the unit tests. Make sure all those go past. Approve these changes. Where's my unit tests? I should have my unit tests in here. Where'd they go? Oh, well, pull request branches made. Huh. Well, why? Why, oh, why is this unit test not running now? It's got to be on pull request branches main, but let's see. All right, Cloud Sonnet's great for code, but GP40 thinks better for GitHub Actions. Sonnet was just like a hot mess on the other one. So let's switch AIs. Then I just completely bashed Sonnet for screwing this up, the last one. Why is this not running tests on new pull requests? Let's see. So I'm just missing a test? Huh. Okay. That doesn't seem right. I deleted it. Force overrides the test. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Oh, source test. Testing category. Okay. Where is that testing category? It should run now. Let's refresh. But there's no... I approve it, and then it should run now. But it's not. Maybe you're using older code before I had the checks in place. AI makes it easy to become complacent. I agree with that, GFY. You gotta understand what AI is good at, what's not. I think it's good for a double check, but it should not be your first go-to. Or maybe like a shortcut for something that's like super easy, like switching nested if statements to switch statements. I think AI is great for that. It's fast. So there's certain things that do speed up workflows, but it just depends. I don't know. A lot of professional programmers just ditched AI completely because it was slowing them down. We'll see where I end up. I think maybe just the code base is older or something. It's good at intern work. I think that's a solid take, GFY. It is good at intern work. All right, let's look at like there's a PR from 13 minutes ago. Let's see, approve and run. Okay, so his code base, he submitted this a while back. And it was before I put the lints in place. So the reason it being was not because of tests or anything that AI gave. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. I checked this. So instead of just bloating up the code with a bunch of nonsense tests, it was just back when Just Linux users submitted the PR originally, those tests didn't exist. But they do exist now. So we have the lints and the cargo check that should happen like that. Okay. It's fine for now. We're going to go, any future PRs will have that. This one does not. But we've obviously run it and tested it extensively, and it's groovy. All right. Now we can merge. Good night. I'm sorry. That was a beatdown. I am sorry, y'all. Quite the beatdown. I don't know if that's it. I've had this issue in LinUtil before where I was really messing around with unit tests and I could see specifically, hey, these old ones, is if you look, Just Linux user did it. The initial one was 3 days ago. And I was messing around with the unit tests a day or two ago. I don't know. All the days kind of blend together for me. I'll be better whenever I have like fall time hits. I'll be good. Force push threw it off. Could have been. Oh, you got to watch out for those force pushes. They can Jedi mind trick you. All right. So this one was great. Let's move on. We've been streaming for an hour and a half and I've gotten one PR done. And I wiped out my favorite PR. Now I want to go back and pull that one back in. I want the search bar. The whole search bar. I love that one. Can we pull that one back? I want that one. So, oh, but I wiped it out. Oh, dagnummit. Oh, your PR's here, Caleb. Let's take a break. Yours are usually pretty straightforward. Update pre-release, so it does a pre-release before main release. All right, what's this one look like? On push, branches main, manual trigger. Okay, that looks good to me. So, well, actually, I don't like these automatically going. I'm going to deny it. I'm going to close this one. So the idea behind the pre-releases and releases, I like to manually trigger those. So I'm actually not going to do it on an event. So I'm going to actually close that one. Let's go on to the next one. Have LinUtil YAML to have a manual push on workflow. Was LinUtil YAML? Let's see what that one. What's that one do? What was I doing with this workflow? This one I actually want automatic. So this one's kind of interesting. It actually redoes the binary every time I do a pull request, but only on a pull request. So I do want this one to happen probably automatically to build the LinUtil pre-release. All right, that's fine. So let's come back and take a peek at that one. You can't do both because it's either manual or automatic. So this one is set to do, oh, that's wrong actually. Workflow dispatch : yeah, that one doesn't line up quite how a manual does. So it should look something like, it should look like this. Push. Yeah, so yeah, this is actually incorrect as well. Yeah, I guess that kind of goes with the other one as well. I kind of like those getting fired off. This one, I like it building manually to just update the binary locally in the repo every time like a PR is done. And then the pre-release, I like to just trigger it manually by going into actions and saying, hey, I want to pre-release this. So I'll go to pre-release LinUtil, I'll run it, trigger it, and it'll create the release for me. And then I like to sit there and kind of massage and like, hey, this contributor really did this. Love this new search feature. Or, hey, I appreciate just Linux user doing this for streamlining and making the script able to do source multiple files. All that's kind of really neat. So, yeah, I took it from WinUtil. Yeah, and I'm probably gonna go back through WinUtil and change a few things on that. So not 100%. So. Bump clap from 4.5, compatibility 89%. What were the release notes? Change log, very descriptive. Commits. This looks like a dependency in our Rust, pushing it from 4.5.9 to 4.5.11. That shouldn't break GitHub pages. I think clap's actually, if you look at it, it's actually updating Cargill Toml. So that's not going to do anything for the actual pages. So that should be fine. We can merge that. What else do we have? LJ is really interesting. Seems like really knowledgeable in the Rust side of the type of thing. Statistically link LinUtil binary against libc. This is kind of a cool idea because right now, someone earlier mentioned like Asahi and ARM-based stuff. I believe doing it this way might help with a lot of build processes for the TUI. But also, let's see, it's not gonna like some of this, but that's okay. I don't know on this one actually. I don't know if I like these changes. The big one here is the tool chain used. It's this extra bit right there. I know it's kind of hard to read, but with this uses on the install Rust, I like that addition. And then the build target x86 unknown. Ah, dang. This should be a full positive change. Okay. Yeah, I think this is just pushing it. What I'm thinking in my mind right now is, what about the ARM-based users out there? Obviously, this binary is not going to work on ARM-based devices. But right now, we don't have any ARM-based really compatibility. Maybe like some Raspberry Pis probably could use this project because it's more of like a Debian or Raspbian really compatibility. Probably, nah, a lot of the packages would be different. So no ARM-based devices would work. Okay. Yeah, the current one doesn't work either. So yeah, in the future, to do ARM, we're going to need another binary. Oh, that'll be interesting. I could probably detect the architecture and then launch the different ARM-based binary and call it something different. Yeah. So for this release, we would need to do probably an RX, whatever, ARM 64 unknown Linux -release LinUtil, and then we would detect it when the script fires off at the very beginning, detect the architecture, and then redirect to the binary, and that would work. I like that. I like that a lot. This is overall a good change. It's just I'm thinking in the future for ARM-based compatibility, which doesn't exist right now. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So this is fine. And these changes are fine as well. I can't submit. He tried to delete LinUtil from the releases, and that's what's going to throw an error. How do I force that through? I think I can do like a git checkout and then do a pull, and then it should be fine. Let's try it. These can be a little tricky to merge when people try and delete files. Yeah, we can edit the commits. I think it'll be fine. I don't know if GitHub Actions actually can create the folder though. So we'll see if this breaks the build. I think it will, but let's go ahead and pull these changes. Go GitHub pull requests. And man, I'm just sad. I messed up that search feature. That was like my favorite. This one right here. You know, I don't want to code this in. I really want this. Let's I think we can actually check this out, can we? And then open it back up and then resubmit the PR. All right. I'll have a patience. I was thinking I might just adapt it myself. Roll the dice, see how it goes. All right. Pickley's taking care of it. I just love that PR. All right. Anyways, moving on. One thing at a time. Patience, Chris. Don't try to lift too heavy too quick. All right, let's go. And why does this look wrong? Let's refresh the pull requests. Yeah. That's much better. So this is the one we were looking at, the chore, the muscle library. It looks like we can merge it. The other thing about changing this though, no, we're still good. I think, but the other thing here, let's check this out real fast. I want to say I'm missing something here. On the files, one thing that's like, okay, on the pre-release, this is going to be wrong. So we would need to add that directory in. So let's go ahead and pull this PR. It will also cause the pre-release, and I don't think do I have another one? And this one. So the LinUtil, the pre-release, and I don't think the Rust check should be unaffected because that doesn't mess with the binary at all. And then issue/commands, that's just for maintenance and the issues. GitHub pages just builds GitHub pages. So that's fine. Wait, what did I change? What happened? Did I change something? No, I didn't change anything, did I? No, we're good. It's like, I didn't change anything, did I? So let's take this PR. We're going to merge it. Let's double check the code one last time. And the big thing I want to grab here is this build. We're going to have to change those other workflows to work with that. You can see it's done on the pre-release, but we also have to do it on the compile for the LinUtil. So let's, oh no, they're both taken care of here. I'm just an idiot. I'm losing it, guys. Well, I never had it, but that does make sense now. Just took me a little bit for my brain to come around. Maybe more distros need to adopt SE Linux and more distros will instantly start just working out of the box. Oh man, that is a hot take. SE Linux screws up more stuff than it fixes. SE Linux is more secure than like AppArmor and many of the other things you see on Debian and Arch-based systems, but SE Linux is a fundamental shift and it does cause some major issues, especially if you don't understand like SE Linux application profiles and sandboxing. There's a lot that goes into SE Linux. Just adding it to systems, yeesh, I don't know on that, man. I don't know if I could sign on with that. I like my stuff to work, and I know SE Linux would make a lot of stuff not work. It would make it more secure, but it would make a lot of programs out there not work very good. Just from a permission standpoint, because SE Linux really does lock down the system. Oh, I missed a question up here too. Let's see. I think you said the gods of Linux are Arch and Debian. Yeah, that sounds like me. What do you think about Alpine with DWM being both super lightweight? Would this work for office and dev jobs, or does it lack something? Alpine is fine. It uses OpenRC instead of systemd, and its package manager's APK, which I'm not a huge fan of. And it sucks at dependency resolution, but it's super lightweight. So if you grabbed all the dependencies you need, you install exactly the packages you need, you're not going to change your environment very much. Alpine is a fantastic solution for that. If you are changing your your environment a lot, man, I couldn't think of the worst environment setup, because tracking down all that stuff and using APK on the daily, I would just want to shoot myself. That's my 2 cents with that. So it could be magic or tragic depending on your use cases and how much you change stuff. Yeah, SE Linux is hard. It is. It has its own nuances. You know, most people that like usually championing SE Linux, a lot of times what I see them do is like just set it into like permissive mode. And I'm like, you're not really doing anything with that. Permissive mode's just going to complain a whole bunch and fill up log files. You have to do like enforcing mode with SE Linux and then configure every little thing you want to do. You want to set up PCI pass-through? Guess what? You got a lot of configuration to do with SE Linux on top of all the configuration you're doing. So it just adds a lot of configuration to your environment when SE Linux is used properly. However, most Linux tutorials, everything I've seen online when it comes to SE Linux is just usually just wrong. I don't think I've actually run into a tutorial with SE Linux where I'm like, pretty good. So that's just my thought. Did you try Void Linux? I never did. I really loved Void Linux idea of like getting away from systemd. And I've been following them on Twitter. Them going back and forth with Vaxry from Hyperland is hilarious. They're like, we will not include Hyperland. And then Vaxry's like, here, I'm going to combine it all into this one binary and then I'll shoot it over to you. So you don't even need to use WL roots. And then they're like, no. And Vaxry's like, why? And they're like, I don't want to. And Vaxry's like, what? Why? I can't believe this. And then they're like, because you smell. It's just like this back and forth. The Linux crew can be an odd bunch. Void Linux and all that back and forth. I was sitting there just like, that's funny. Okay. All right. Let's see. But I do need to try Void Linux. So true. All right. I think we're good here. That is solid. Let's keep moving. Let's do a git pull. And we do have that new binary file. So what I want to do now is test that new binary file. Pulls up, looks good. And then let's come back into LinUtil and cargo run. Just double check. Do a full system update. Make sure everything's good. I like it all. Check my PRs. All right, let's check your PRs. Attempt to reduce headache with Arch keyring. Oh, somebody was talking about this earlier. Hotfix, work. Description, work. Prevent issues with Pac-Man with Arch keyring being out of date. Ooh, I'm curious. What did he do? That's an interesting. So this right here, it's kind of a cool command. Check this out. I like it. You can tell this guy uses Linux. Check this out. So what that does is it's just updating the database, making sure, hey, Arch Linux keyring is ready to go and is up to date. Then it does the update of the actual system. So I like it. That's kind of cool. What do we think of that, chat? You guys like that? Less chances to break Arch doing it this way. I think that's pretty solid. ~sy. So SU's the update. So when you do an SU update after the SY, it should be a system update. So again, sudo pacman SU no confirm, it would do the update. You shouldn't hard code sudo. It's true. Yeah, because some people use do as. Is that where you're going with that, GFY, or just not at all? We do have some variables in play to check for sudo, do as, and God, what was the other one? I guess just if you don't have any package, maybe doing a switch user, but then that complicates everything altogether. Yeah, I mean, sudo is kind of needed at this point, unless you're using an AUR, and then the AUR helper shouldn't. Ooh, that's a good question. What if that packager is the AUR helper? I don't think it would though. Yeah, I agree about the inconsistency. There's still, I need to go through with a fine-tooth comb and really fix that up. I'll probably do that offline because that's going to be kind of tedious. Hard to read chat and then focus on code at the same time when it comes to that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's avoidable. That's the main issue with what we're doing because we are changing many things in the system. All right, so we've got that in. That does look cool though. I like that change. It's a very simple PR. And that's just going to go into main, confirm. Let's finish these other PRs here. Add security folder. What's going on here? Add a security folder with basic firewall feature. All right, let's see how he does it. All right, firewall baselines. All right, we're grabbing UFW if it's not there. Grabbing basic firewall rules, limiting, basically tar pitting SSH. And then we have HTTP and SSL, and then denying all incoming packets, and then allowing outgoing packages, and then enabling. Pretty simple. I like it overall. I would make some changes here. The big thing is I would probably break this out into another function so it's a little more clear. So you have your install packages up here, and then, hey, once it does that, and then you should have set FW rules or firewall rules, however you want to name the new function, and that should be a separate function just from like an aesthetics point of view, so it makes it a little easier to read. This isn't wrong though. I think that's fine. So let's accept that. I will go through the sudo command as well and just figure out that. I like it. Very simplistic. You know, I need to make like something on the you know, I'm going to make this so I don't have to my distro is Arch. Just so I don't have to... I've had to answer this question like a whole bunch on this stream. I don't know why. just so people know. Let's confirm. All right, let's merge that. Security folder I do like. We'll expand on it in the future. And then we got our DWM option. Oh, yeah. We can fix this note. God, I'm fired. Take my social media card. I forgot the BTW. All right, moving on. Add install dot files. It's not really a dot files on the DWM though. That's a whole different bag. So this is, yeah, interesting. I like the idea of this. I don't think we're quite ready for this just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and close this PR. The dependencies on the sudo package installer right here. I don't understand why he's removing the quotes. It's kind of odd to me. I guess whenever you have the compiled, no, I think that should still be fine with the quotes. Maybe not actually. I don't know why those quotes were added right here or here. So I guess removing them would be actually not that bad. For the setup of DWM, that's actually not bad, but the actual clone and setup of DWM, yeah, I think I'm going to do something a little different there. Oh, hey, HGH. How far in the new PoE league? I'm at mapping. Like level 75 HGH. I've been going pretty hard. I got this new Templar. I'm just slaying it, man. It's like a pet build, minion build Templar that is just awesome. Yeah. I agree with this. So I do like this. This is another one where I'm like, I'm not quite ready to do DWM, but he added in like a bug fix for the system compile. This is where multiple PRs are needed. Jeez. I'll come back to it. I'll just check out that and then I'll fix that later. I just need to massage that a bit because there's a lot of things that go into that setup script that take care of it. So you have duplicative, different dependencies that aren't getting added in. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Let's, adding a comment is true. I need to be better on my adding of comments. Love the fixes to, system setup. I need to change the DWM setup script as this is doubling up the dependency installs. All right. I should have probably just done request changes. We'll just say that so we've already done the review. All right, 1 second. Oh, okay. Let's just close this then. Fix package manager checks. Okay, here we go. So that's Nala. Yeah, all that looks perfect. Sweet. Straight and to the point. Love this PR. You can improve and run it. I mean, honestly, it's just a bash script. It doesn't really matter if Rust checks for that or not. Moving on. Because if you look at the scripts here, it's just doing the compile setup. So the actual checks that's being done are from the Rust environment. So the unit test would have failed or passed. It wouldn't matter. UI UX tabular prototype. Well, that sounds interesting. Oh, look at this. This looks really cool. All right. What do we think of this? That's kind of cool. It looks better, but I almost like the search functionality with the / Yeah. Yeah, this isn't mergeable. I'm just interested in it. And I think this is still using... Is this using the Ratui UI? What are we doing this on this merge? Yeah. Strum. So it's using the Strum library. It is still using Ratatouille. And then I'm not sure what Strum's doing. I'll have to do some look into that. I love the addition. I mean, it's kind of cool. I honestly see it kind of merging. It's so weird how open source projects kind of take on a mind of their own. Like when you first started it, you guys saw the very, very humble beginnings, but it's quickly starting to turn into like a Windows utility, which is kind of wild. So this with the tabs up here and then having like a / search box somewhere like over here would be kind of cool. Now, I haven't seen him launch anything. We'll see what kind of happens with this. I really dig it. Let me, very cool. Yeah, I'd just love to see where this goes. Just looking at it, I'm not going to merge this obviously today, but just kind of taking a peek at the different ways people are using this library in Rust is kind of blowing my mind a little bit. I'm not going to glean too much from this code review, but I doubt I'll ever be able to merge it with as many PRs as I'm doing. Although a lot of the PRs are more bash oriented. Wow. That is a lot. That's such a huge commit. It almost needs to be like its own branch, I would say. So cool though. Anywho, GitHub pages. Is that a problem? See in the GitHub pages. All right, add : to make docs look better. All right, we got an approval. Let's finish these PRs out. I mean, that's kind of a easy review there. Let's merge. Add a : All right. What else we got? ZSH install option from JT. We got install ZSH script. Yeah. King mentioned SYU to install just in case there's dependencies that are needed for it. It's actually a good practice. A lot of times I just use -s, which is not the best. And then it's creating. I do like the creation of the ZSH config. I almost feel like pulling bash in-house like this and just hard coding it all into like a local file. So much to look at here. I'm not going to do anything with this just yet, but I do like that. And then we already talked and actually looked through this one. It's just kind of been just hanging out. This issue. Yeah. So the whole font rendering, I might just add this PR into an entire script that fixes the fonts. Oh, is it not set up yet? Okay. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Pickley. All right. Well, Snow, you and I are the same. We're still both learning Rust. It's a process. Rome wasn't built in a day, man. It's just the baby steps. And let that go through. I want to say, oh, that's right. We're gonna have to fix a few things here. Yeah, I don't want to do. I'll mess with this. I kind of have an idea to fix fonts in general because fonts in Linux on its head, especially like emojis and other things, there's a ton of things that need to happen with every single distribution because most people want to see emojis and other fonts that are on the screen. And having them display it properly can be a little bit of a chore for the uninitiated. But we could easily set something that just says fix fonts or install fonts and fix them. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word for beginning users, but basically we just grab like all the sane nerd fonts, install those. Once it installs those, goes and configures the system to utilize those fonts, and then like this bitmap font rendering issue that Tao mentioned, like I think it was 2 weeks ago he did this PR, so sorry I'm letting this PR hang out for so long, but I kind of want to do the font rendering with like just a general font fix up, and I might just take over his branch and just start adding my stuff to his stuff and make like a massive font addition to it in the future. Yeah, you can create a separate DWM Titus alt. You totally can, and then we can implement that. I wanted to separate those two out because the big thing is there's stuff I need to add because the DWM Titus setup script. If you look here, I will just show you real fast instead of trying to explain it. Let's do a poll with vim setup.sh. You can look at the setup right here. Now, I want to say this is some AI BS that I had tossed in here. Is this even right? Oh, hell. This is wrong. Yeah, I think some of it's okay, but some of it's missing dependencies. Yeah, this setup script sucks. The meat and potatoes here, I think I just did it real fast, and there's some hallucinations in here I can see already. So I do... Hell, let's just fix it. And let's just pull that in, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, let's just open up DWM Titus. Where are you at? Been a little bit since we've done DWM. Oh, there's a PR for... Let's look at the PRs for DWM. There's some good ones someone mentioned earlier. I think we're done with LinUtil PRs for now. I'm going to wait till that search feature comes through from Pickley. And once that's all checked out, we'll pull that up. But I want to look at DWM real fast because I think we had some PRs over here. Slowly get this done. And then offline, I need to do some really like OCD cleanup work, standardization, cleaning up, making sure we're using the same variables everywhere, and then fixing some of... I know some of these scripts, now that we've gone to a different format from just Linux user to a dot and sourcing the common script, I need to make sure all the new scripts are now sourcing that common script. Anyhow, all right, let's go here. So this is... Oh, okay. We have some install packages. Does look like we're getting Debian and Red Hat, removing Xev and Backlight, X Backlight. I guess that's fine. I might add those back in at some point. Xev not really needed, but X Backlight will be needed probably for laptops. Although I have an ACPI Lite fork on my GitHub that utilizes X Backlight differently. Anyways, that's for so many... Just keep running into things. Anyways, I'm sure yours is better than whatever the hell's there, because I look at that hot mess and I'm like, ugh, need to fix that. Let's see what else we got in the PR. Fix icon for drum UI caused by new fonts. Really? Okay. Patch fixes icon. Let's see how he fixed that icon. Oh, well, that's a pretty easy fix. Approve. Alrighty. Moving on to the next one. Fix crash when mod speeds... Oh, really? There's a crash, huh? -1 in the space. Is that... What does that do? Oh, yeah. That crashes it. Shit. That is a valid issue. All right. Oops. Okay. Yep. That is totally valid. Let's go pull that in, huh? Yeah. Thanks. That is perfect. Merge. Totally meant to do that. Oh, it says mod key space crashes my desktop. Let's press that. Wouldn't be a stream without at least one crash. All right. One build dependency had a typo. Oh, what do we have? Perfect. Submit. Yeah, there's so many build dependency problems in here. We need to merge. Most of these are just setup problems. Improve installation process, clean up makeup file. Ooh, wait a second. This is a little bit more. All right, Fesso comment. I tackled a few CLang warnings, sharpened the installation instructions to README. Moreover, I've undone the prior commit found here. This action prompted my inclusion of the star ridge reject files in the make file cleaning segment, designed to streamline the process and make install clean. Lastly, I've removed the disk target from the make file. So probably seeing the make file change quite a bit. Hey, Fezzo, do this for the patches list. Okay. Use collapsible list. Changes done. Looks good. Love it. All right, great. So for the git ignore, all those files, it's ignoring the binary, the O file, and then the config.files. Make file changes. We're just doing the removal of cleanup of original and rejection, and no longer doing the dist trigger. It looks like that was removed completely. I don't really use it. I usually just do sudo make install clean and move on with my day. I kind of like the distribution though. I can always bring it back in the future. Although it's already being done on the install. So it's a little bit redundant anyways. All right, yeah, never mind. That's all good. Fezzo is usually solid though. On this side of things, I'm kind of curious to see how the markdown works on the README. And then I got that, okay. Icon size 20, sure. Extra white space it looks like. Then we are doing helper macros for spawning commands. We got CMD and then CMD here. That looks good. We have this term CD. I kind of like, because term CD is actually, CMD is over in here. Where's that declaration? I think it skips it. You merged a botched PR, fixing it now. Thanks, Pickley. I'm just terrible. Couldn't make it work on my end. Yeah, I'm looking at that. All that looks fine, except for this change right here. As someone mentioned in chat, the define CMD and CH CMD, which is interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what this does, why that was done. I'll look at through the comments again. He's changing the spawn of Alacrity, the default browser, Thunar, and Looking Glass to CMD. So I don't know why it would switch from using like SHC and then the some command to these. Maybe because they're GUI tools where when you're spawning these, the SHCMD. So I might look into that some more. Let's look back through the conversation and see what we got. Yeah, let's finish this right here. And was that the only? Yeah, there's only one conflict. Oh, it was the PR that added the security folder. Okay. I figured there was one bad one in there. Wrong pass and used old code. Yeah, that's the problem with some of this. It's cool. Like, the one problem I see with a lot of the LinUtil, because there's so much, it's such a big project to take on. Like, I love that new UI UX kind of pseudocode that's kind of tossed up there on a PR. Obviously not mergeable. But the problem is he might work on it and it ends up being such a massive PR that there's almost no way to merge it, because I've since combined like 20 different PRs. So his code's going to be super old, and I've already done a bunch of other PRs that he does get to that point. So I'd have to work more closely with that developer if we actually did want to merge like that whole new UI UX style thing, which inevitably we will change probably, but for now probably won't use it. Did not work. Okay. Fezzo's usually so good. Yeah, I was looking at that and I was just like, let's go ahead and pull this down for DWM though. I'm going to just go to a blank desktop. And what we're going to do, let's just do a poll. Let's just stash. What do we have? Config.h is different, huh? What's different? ST's lowercase. I've added Lutris. Oh, I got rid of the function. I mean, there's not much here that's groundbreaking. Okay, whatever. Let's just pull. I don't want to mess with it. Let's do a sudo make clean install. All right, perfect. And let's close that. Kill the desktop. Launch it again. All right. So now we're back in DWM. Everything looks good. These cleanups here is what we're going to get rid of. So the Fezzo commit, I think I might pull down and change a little bit. We can check it out just to see, but getting rid of like the tur, I don't particularly like the tur CMD change from Fezzo. All right. So improve this. Most of this I really do enjoy. And we can look at the config.cmd. So this is one, I kind of want to change a few things in this PR. So you can see right here, it's fine, just kind of evening out the white space here, nothing too fancy. This is where helper for spawning shell commands for spawning commands. Okay. This is for shell commands. This is for regular commands. Huh. I want to try it. And then you can see those commands changing from shcmd to just cmd. What else do we have? The change of the X from .v term cmd. I don't know why he changed that. So that I actually would prefer to be the old one. So because that gives people options. So I would take this, copy, and then I'd paste that in over here. Can I just add? Let's just change the code. I don't need to add a discussion. Let's just go paste. Oh, let's check it out. I mean, we're getting there, Goat. I mean, LinUtil is really, just look at the past month. I've been super lazy. I've been incredibly lazy. So I apologize to everybody. But it just shows you how incredible open source is when you compare someone like me, noob. I don't know Rust. I mean, I know a little bit now. I've read a couple chapters in a Rust book and hacked around, but I'm no Rust dev. And I can take these PRs from just looking at LinUtil. It's insane if you go from the first stable release 2 weeks ago, right, to what we have now. It's really kind of insane how much it's evolved just in less than a month. Like, this was our first main release. Probably later this week, we're going to do a V0.2 public release. That'll have a whole bunch more stuff, probably like Pickley's search bar, just Linux's more functional use. We right now are concatenating like a common source script file. But I mean, it's crazy how much the program's changed just in that time period to almost be functional. For the most part, I've already installed and upgraded Arch I don't know how many times using LinUtil. I do it every stream. And it's really kind of wild how far it has come. And that's mostly just all open source contributions. Like, that's not me focusing and spending hundreds of hours coding it. That's just collectively everyone in the open source community spending hundreds of hours all together and getting a whole bunch of different ideas kind of bouncing off each other to make the best product possible. So it's kind of insane, but it's awesome. What do we got, Caleb? Let's see. Oh, well, let's see. Got so many people in chat. So many people in chat. But it really speaks to the power of open source. I need to push. Oh, let's see. On LinUtil. Here, I'll do that real fast, Caleb. Because we needed to push the pages to get the documentation for this. Pages deploy. Oh, we never did run the work. Oh, my bad. Let me run the workflow. All right. Got it. Will you work on Hyperland, Titus? Thursday, we're working on Hyperland, Titus. But it's really kind of insane to see how fast this stuff moves. It's mind-blowing. So whenever I hear someone say, I don't like open source, I'm like, well, what are you trying to do? I mean, open source is probably terrible if you're trying to like sell a product. That's what I think where open source kind of fails. Like you can kind of intelligently do it with like a hybrid model, but like making money with open source projects is probably a terrible endeavor. So that's, I could see that point. But if your objective is to just make the best project possible as fast as possible with as little knowledge as possible, I don't think you can beat open source in any day of the week. I think open source can beat any AAA, company out there with a team of 100 devs hammering away at something. If you get enough eyeballs on a project, contributing to the project, I couldn't imagine any company beating that. I think you're a sysadmin, nuke it all kind of guy. That is me. When you have a preview open, you can run a command with enter. That's kind of cool. It's kind of a bug, but kind of neat. The Titus pop looks like Mac OS. Oh boy. Turns out people are, yeah, that's true. They are passionate about the stuff they use. Okay. We'll get those settings done for the deployment of GitHub pages so LinUtil has documentation. So wasn't that in his settings? It was something pretty easy. Let's see. Script being blocked. Okay, yeah. Oh, what was the change? Just shoot me a message when you can, Caleb, on that, and we'll get that added. I can't remember where we did that settings on the GH pages. Fix the bug right now. It's really easy to fix. You will learn a little bit. Okay. What do we got for a pull request? Oh my word. And the search function again. Fonzo. Okay. Stopping everything. We got to do a Fonzo. Fonzo just, how long ago did he submit it? Fix some bugs. Oh, it's still running the checks. He literally just now did some cleanup and fix bugs. All right. While that's coming through and the checks are going through, let's go on PR pages, GitHub pages. So there's a GitHub pages branch. We go to the branch, and then I think under branches, build and deployment, GitHub pages. Okay, should be fine. I got it. Forgot about the new branch. All right, let's see. All right, that all passed. Let's see what we got for changes. Here we go. So we're just renaming, changing, cleaning up with the applications. We got the list file, query string. Oh, I love it. Love it. So good. What just happened? Oh, okay. That was weird. The screen went black for a second. All right, anyways. The stream didn't go black, but this one went black. So I'm like, okay. Filter query, draw. Oh, I feel so good about this. Just a quick review, and we will approve and run. All right, I like it. Let's do it. Okay. Just Link Shooter says, for the future, you can do a git reset -- soft, then squash the commits or split changes. All right, I'm going to have to look on that. I'm getting better. I'm getting better with the GitHub. I'm gone from a failing user to like a C- with my GitHub usage. One day we'll get there. Slow and steady. All right, I probably should have checked this out and checked it beforehand, but I'm just so pumped up about this PR. We're going to make it happen, regardless. Remind me to come back to the DWM. Let's pull it. Come on. Cargo run. What do we got? Oh, so cool. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. And he fixed the... Oh. Okay. So, security. I was trying to do that little bug that Caleb said. I probably shouldn't do that right in the middle of my system update, but, if I could figure out a way to kill my system, I'm always for it. Oh, Pickley said not to merge. Oh, crap. Yeah. You can't dangle a carrot in front of my face and tell me not to bite it. You just, come on. All right, we'll do the GitHub pages while we wait. Oh, we'll have another PR coming in. All right, let's do the GitHub pages. I think we do... Where's pages at? I think it's right here. Deploy from branch. branch, GH pages. Was it root or docs? I think we keep root, right? I think that's how we did it on that. So let's save that. And I mean, I might actually get a custom domain for this stuff. I kind of like just christitus.com. I guess I could do like a christitus.com / like Linux or something. Oh, that's actually the default for this. I could just assign it a subdomain. I don't know if it's worth it or not to do that. Maybe. I'll think about it. In the future, maybe. Oh, is it docs? Oh, it's docs. Oops. My bad. Let's go. Pages. Docs. Save. All right. Sorry about that. Now, we should be fine. I thought it was root the last time for some odd reason. Anywho. That should be good. Now, for the actual GitHub Docs, should go... Was it christitustech.github? And then I think it's LinUtil. So then you got the LinUtil documentation, user guide, and contribute, updates, known issues. Yeah, nice. So then we'll have all the docs over here for the documentation set up and ready to roll. Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it. I know you had to hound me for it, but I appreciate your work. I know I'm like an ADD. I'm like trying to herd a cat some days, but that's all for the entertainment purposes. Okay, so we've got that. We're still waiting on an update. I know Just Linux user probably rage quitted after that. So we'll wait for Pickley's new PR fixing that up. Thanks for the resub, D4. And okay, sorry, man. Thanks for putting up with me. So we'll do that. Let's go back to DWM while we wait for the next PR to come through, and we will go. Oh, what was the bug? Let's fix the bug for a learning example, right? You wanted me to fix the bug. All right, so the bug that we have. Let's flip over to, what do we have? Close all this out. Let's go open recent. Let's go over to LinUtil. When the preview is open, you can still run the command. Okay, so that is a bug. What is the easiest way to fix that bug? If I was a betting man, it would be, before we just jump to like, hey, AI, fix this for me, as I have a tendency to do, and then just terribly screw everything up. If we go to the draw command, where it's actually drawn, there's probably a way to restrict that sub command for when that's drawn. And I want to say it's probably not even, I can't remember if it was in list.rs. Here it is, toggle preview window. So in the toggle preview window function, you can actually run a command while it's going. So how do we stop that from happening and restrict it? I have no idea is the answer to that question. But let's ask. Restrict restrict user from running commands in the toggle preview window. Let's see what old oh, this is Jippity. We don't want Jippity, actually. Cancel. Well, let's see. Let's check Jippity compared to Sonnet and see what they think. This is a little ridiculous. Handles the enter key. This key can do things. Run a command if it isn't a currently selected item. Go up and down a directory. It doesn't really do anything. So this is just the handle enter key function, which handle key function right here. So this is a whole new function it wants to create. All right, let's put a pin in that. Oh, okay. No. Here's the handle enter key function. So the idea behind this would be the enter button only needs to work selectively on the preview, not as... Okay, makes sense. ZNH, thanks for the tier 1. First month, all right. That's awesome. Yeah, that's just wrong. I'll give you a huge hint. Line 275. Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me. I can kind of see where it was going with the handle enter, but you're saying there's a more elegant way of doing it. 275, self handle enter. Ooh, I got you. Whiskey, thank you for the tier 1. So probably the way from a pseudocode standpoint, how I would say only handle enter once command has failed or succeeded. So right now the enter key pushes this to handle it on the preview window, but we should check for a success or enter is how I'm thinking of coding it. And then 261, you're saying look around. If the preview window is active, scroll up to consume the scroll action, so the scroll does not happen in the main window as well. So when we're running the command to test this out, cargo run, and let's say we're doing a full system update, and then it's, you can see that, but can we go up and down? JK? No. I'm gonna end up breaking my system doing these system updates like this. Yeah, it doesn't really, scroll action doesn't really work. Nah. So, okay. So you can check if the window's open. That's the preview window open. All right. So the scroll action really doesn't even work per se. It works. You didn't check it correctly. Well, I mean, I'm just doing what users do. That is such a developer though. You're just not using it right. And I'm like the user taking a sledgehammer, smashing the keyboard going, it didn't press the key I wanted it to. Don't run the command, open the preview window. That's for the, oh, that's right. I forgot about the preview window. That's right. I think you do P and this is for the preview window. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the preview window. That's a whole different thing that we added. I completely forgot about that addition last week. So the try, scroll up, scroll down. So that preview window's not needed here. Well, you said check 275, and 275 was in the preview function, but this is the handle key function. Okay, that makes more sense. So it's not the preview window. It's not in the preview window. Where is our running window command? Handle enter. Let's move up, down. Running command, RS. I think it's in this one, right? Should we add a scroll to this? Try looking around and understanding the code better. Yeah, no. That's what I'm doing. Just Linux user. You're just talking to a smooth brain, so you're having to walk me through it like a little child. It was in the previous command. So in the list at 275, this is where you directed me. We have this. What does this do? Document this. So it says handles the enter key press by calling the self.handleEnter function. This is likely a process for the selected item and confirms an action. For any other key presses, returns none. This means no specific action is taken for other keys in this context. All right, like it. So then if you look at self-handle enter, where is that referenced? Oh, well, handle enter. And then this method returns exactly the selected command or no command if no command selected. It was extracted from the handle enter. It's what it doesn't do. Okay. First, I need to understand what it does and then how to modify it. This could probably be integrated with the handle enter method to avoid code duplication, but I didn't want to make too many changes to the code base. Okay. And then the handle enter button handles the enter key. And this is when enter is pressed. This is what happens. Goes checks if list state, gets the list index it looks like. And then we have the filter query that was just added by Pickley. And then we have a mutable IDX, node, current, child enumeration. At this point, we know that we are not on the item or our indexes. So this is just saying, hey, if you're going past the bottom or past the top, it'll go ahead and flip to the other side of things. Usually like on a lot of like the Rust books and tutorials, there is functions that say, hey, when you're outside the scope of the index, go ahead and add one or switch to 0 or whatever the first index was. All right, filter query. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. Anyways, let's go back to 275. So we need to expand this, is what you're saying, to maybe exclude. How should we ask this kind of thing? How do you exclude commands when when a command is already running, exclude the enter button unless the command has either failed or succeeded in the subsequent window. That's probably the way I would ask this. So obviously Jippity kind of sucks. Sonnet, I think, has been pretty good. If we say expand this to exclude enter key presses when a command is running or the preview window is open. Allow enter key press if running command has failed or successful. Let's see what it comes up with. I was just trying to be as descriptive as possible with this. Oh, nice, Alt. We'll check out DWM Titus here in a second. I think I broke Sonnet, kind of like in line 162. So if we look at 162, yeah, that took a long time for it to return that. To hide the sidebar, use the icon in the top right or press Control B. All right, Control B. Good enough. 262. Let's take a look at 262. Ah, I gotcha. If preview window state equals, okay. Self window up, return none. Okay, that makes sense. And this is all in the handle key function that we're doing. This one right here for the key code self enter. If running command is none, I mean, that actually could work. If state running command match command state, command failed, command successful. I don't think the command failed or command successful is possibly right. I don't know if it's returning those successful or failed values to actually self-handle the enter. I don't think this pseudocode wise, yes. Logically speaking, probably yes, but actually working, no. Yeah, it's close, but yeah, this command, what would the return be is the question. I have no idea. So how, let's look at command state. Command state, is that even a thing? It returns nothing. So is it not even calling the right command state? There is no command state. Return would be segfault. Ah. All right, guys, I think we're at that stage. I have an announcement to make. I've accepted employment as the lead designer and engineer for CrowdStrike. I am obviously more skilled than them. I will accept a salary of roughly $250,000, and I will start work here in about 2 weeks. I need to get through at least chapter 10 of my Rust book before I'm more qualified than them. Let's go. All right. Lordy. So the command state's not even there. So how do we get the state for the running command? Let's just do new. I like this one. We'll come back to the idea of that code. The outline's kind of there in my mind. How to get command state for the running command. To get the command state for the running command, you need to modify the custom list struct and its methods. Here's how you can do it. Update the new method to initialize that field. If we look at the custom, let's just look at the, that's not right. This whole thing is the custom list right here. It's really that simple, just Linux user. Yeah, I would have never gotten that. So the self preview window state is none, then self handle. But the preview window state isn't defined from the running command. So the issue is the bug that you can run commands in the running command, or is it in the preview window? I guess we should, maybe I didn't. See, this is where you screw up as a developer if you don't understand the bug entirely. And I don't think I did. So let's say I'm here and I go preview window. Now, if I go bash, enter. Oh. Okay, the bug is when the preview window is open, you can click enter and it will run a command as well. So this is the bug. Chris, what is your cursor name? I have no idea. I just synced it up with my GitHub. So Chris Titus Tech, I think. So the bug is the fact that when you're in the preview window, you hit enter and it runs the command. So that's the bug. See, I misunderstood the issue. I was thinking that people were typing like bash and then hitting enter and it would run bash within the preview. I didn't understand when you have the preview window open and you press enter, it would run that command. That seems, I mean, if I was being Microsoft here, I would just be like, hey, that's not a bug, that's a feature. I would, another solution here is just to be like, press enter to run command. But obviously, that's not what we do. Let's clean this up. We don't need that. So the solution would be from here, we'd enter in like an if else statement kind of thing. So I probably would do if statement, the statement, and then control that with brackets. Oops. Missed another bracket. I don't think that. Now, where's my error here? Missing else clause? I don't think you need to evaluate else within here. That doesn't make much sense to me. No need to inline. Return. Oh, and then else the none. So, couldn't I just break this out to make it more readable? I mean, I'm going to hack around here a second. I know. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me yet. So for me, I would actually come down into here and then do like an else. Now you're going to see where I'm just bastardizing the code, but that's okay. You know, what's wrong with that? Oh, I didn't realize that was an autocomplete. Why is it wanting to do this underscore equals none down here on the autocomplete? That doesn't make any sense to me. Feel like that's not quite right. Oh, that's right. So you got to do, right? No, not there. Rust is so weird with its syntax. Okay. So key code enter right here. Here's the self. We have the else. And this whole thing, I don't understand syntax on where this went wrong. Control Z. Take it easy, Elmo. A non-existing parameter, 20 or more, not covered in Rust. Match value type key code. Event code. What's happening here? What did I do wrong? Okay, it's fine. So that would fix it. That's so strange. I don't understand. But it did remove all the errors and problems. That's bonkers to me. Again, smooth brain here, but that's just strange. I'll get it. I'm going to have to do this about 100 more times to get it, but interesting. Underscore is a case default match. Okay. It catches the other cases. So if you're not hitting enter, P, K, J, then it will match with none. So if you enter any other key, it's just going to say, hey, that doesn't do anything. Okay. So this is like almost like a wild card, basically. And that's what it's passing. Then we have our if statement when enter is pressed. If preview goes there is none, then go ahead and handle the enter key. If it is there, it should be none, just like the other keys that don't do anything. I guess it makes sense. It's just a program in my brain to understand the syntax a little bit. I appreciate it. Very, very cool. All right, sweet. Well, let's compile this and cargo run it. So before, when we hit up our preview window and we were scrolling and go, okay, and we hit enter, it would pull up and run this command. Now we hit enter, doesn't do anything. Now, at the same token, let's just make sure we didn't break the enter key with running the command, and it looks like we're good. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for hanging in there with me. Rust syntax is definitely unique in a lot of ways. I prefer C syntax, but I mainly program in Rust now. Really, Gav? Interesting. I learned on C, so... Well, C++ actually. But as you see, I'm pretty much a blank slate. I just gotta, I gotta make sure I'm coding at least every week and adding more stuff to it. And I haven't really done anything this week. So it was a little bit of a brutal learning experience live on stream there. But yeah, I like I said, I think once I get used to it, it'll be fine. All right, let's refresh our PRs Now, did we have another one? Or was Pickley working on something? I can't remember. I didn't see Alfonso's new commit. Hadn't come in here. LJ did do a preview build of Arch 64 binaries. Oh, there's a cross compilation for cargo. That's kind of cool. So we could do a Arch 64 version. How neat. And then we have the select Arch URL. Ah, that's cool. All right. So you have the architecture. It grabs that. Everything else, it grabs that. Okay. Arch 64 or ARM 64, exit, and then AMD 64. Yeah. Very cool. I think that actually should work. I don't see anything wrong with that release. It's a little bit bloated with this unknown Linux muscle. I probably will change that at some point and just be like, probably do like Arch 64 and then AMD 64, and then just not this long directory. I just don't like long directory names. But you might want to know that it's like a MSUL. Anyways, very cool. Gav, thanks for the Prime. It's very, very cool. Yeah, we're all learning something here today. Me more than most. But I like that. All right, cool. I want to test that a little bit more. And do we have anything else in here? Oh, here's Alfonso's. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to let that cook before I just jump right on it and merge it right away. Let's let those cargo checks go into place. And let's see what we got for DWM Titus. Now, did we finish with the DWM Titus pull request? We did not. All right, let's finish with DWM Titus over here, because we have something like that. Now, converted key bindings for this with Alacrity. These key bindings, we're switching it from like a TMUX to a regular. I guess that's fine. Yeah, we're going to merge it. It doesn't really matter. I wasn't really using the keybinds, but it could... Actually, it could affect things. Let me look at those keybinds one more time. Up, down, control, shift, line, scroll back. Okay. Window management is all commented out. Up, down, increase font size. Okay. So if you do control, shift, up, it'll go up and down, and then a control, shift, backspace, it resets font size. So most of these are actually harmless and actually probably pretty good. So copy and paste, you have control shift S for paste, and then super V. What was this one? It's fine. Let's merge it. Squash and merge, continuing on. One Must, thanks for the Prime. Yeah, we're working on the update with DWM right now. Clean up and touch from Rezo, remove unnecessary files, add get ignore, give personal build touch to DWM status, check commits. Yeah, so this one for get ignore, we're removing rejection origination object files binary, and then the S-text for the version. Oh, hey. That's funny. All he's doing is changing the thing to say, instead of DWM version, it says DWM Titus and then the version. That's cute. All right, cool. Pretty basic changes. I do agree with all that for just to clean up. Thanks, Rez. And then let's move. Adding fix so DWM supports both Kitty and Alacrity. Wallpaper fix, key bindings for brightness. Ooh, that might have some. We'll see. Added Terminator and fixed formatting. How'd he do this? Oh, yeah. That's fine. It's just adding an extra rule class for people that use Terminator. I think there's like a bunch of there's this weird sliding scale of users. There's Terminator users, and then there's like Kitty users, and then there's like Alacrity users, and then there's finally you have ascended when you go to ST. Because all you want is a super basic terminal. So yeah, I like that actually. It's a cool merge. URXT not mentioned. I've never been a big fan. Never been a big fan of that. I use Kitty with TMUX. That's interesting. Kitty with TMUX. I mean, TMUX can be really cool when you have like a basic desktop environment like KDE or GNOME. I would prefer like a Tmux style setup, because Tmux would give you pretty much everything you get out of, you know, your DWM or your tiling window manager. So you'd set this all up. So I could get that. Anywho, yeah, I like that. It's cool. Added fix, so DWM supports both Kitty and Alacrity. Wallpaper fix, key bindings for brightness, audio. Now I think on some of these, oops, let's go back. This might be a little much. Fixing, yeah. So I use FT Labs PyCom for my animations. So a lot of people are like, hey, how are you doing those animations with DWM? DWM's ugly. That's just FT Labs PyCom, so that's a nice addition. Do we also have the home instead of it hard-coded to my home folder? That's good. We have the Terminator command to be SC Alacrity. I don't think that's right. Technically, it would work. Maybe. I don't know. It's interesting. He's controlling his brightness by using something called Brillo. What the hell is Brillo? Anybody use Brillo before? I guess they make pads, cleaning pads for dishes. Brillo pads. Brillo Linux. All right, let's go. So this is control brightness and backlight in Kibi LED license on Linux. Read-only mirror. If you go to GitLab, where it's hosted. So if you do have a laptop running Linux, check out the Brillo project. Not a lot of activity here. It does look like last update was about a year ago. Packaging status. And then you probably want to add Brillo to unprivileged. You could also do like a UDEV rule to make sure it has access to usually like sysclass backlight. But I don't know how it's actually handling that Brillo group. So the program itself, yeah, and if you're using AppArmor, you need to make sure you have the AppArmor profile and additionally a pullkit rule. So it is actually already installing the pullkit rule. That's pretty cool. The Brillo project. All right. Doing good, Submit. How are you doing? Oh, complete LinUtil. Yeah, I'm working on it. So this is good. Unlike most of that. I will have to check out this Brillo. That sounds kind of cool. Now this key that it's doing, here's the thing. This F7, F6, F3, F2, this is so independent of your laptop. My laptop requires these keys, and you find these keys by going through painstaking process. I think it's like Xev or what is the tool for a good way to track your keybinds. So this is cool, but again, there's some changes I would probably need to make for this. I probably would request changes. Man, I don't even know what to tell him. I'm just going to comment and go, interesting with Brillo, and keys will be different depending on laptop. Yeah, thank you, Spill Check. I know, don't spam. Don't. You say to complete LinUtil one more time, I'm coming for you. Don't. I'll complete it when I'm damn well ready. Get off me. All right. Sorry. Anyways, that's cool. All right. What's the other one? And the other one was Fezzo. And Fezzo was cool. I really like a lot of that changes with it, but I would change a few things specifically. Yeah, the changes in here are the ones where I'm like, I just don't know. I need to mess with that a little bit more. All right. Show key was one. Yeah, show key is like if you're doing like a YouTube tutorial, I think. All right, let's see. LinUtil. All right, PRs. What do we got? Fix scrolling on empty results. So Alfonso found, or Pickley. Fix the crash. All right, let's see what we got. Sorted items, filtered clone. So I guess there's a crash whenever scrolling on empty results. So if you tried to filter something and it filtered to nothing, and then you tried to scroll, it would crash the program. Very cool. All right. That was kind of what we were talking about earlier. And actually, when I was reading the Rust book, when you did like the magic guess sample, it's like a hello world sample for Rust. There's that. Hey, when it's in an unindexed value or going outside of the scope, change that. So, okay. That looks good. And then reset selection for custom list. I like it. All right, cool. Let's do it. Merge it. Before we do a bunch of merges, let's go test. Technically, we should have probably checked out and tested beforehand, but you know me. Local changes. Fix. I forgot to commit that. I'm such a goob. Fix enter key running on preview. All right. Get pull. And then let's merge. Get pull. Okay. Now, before we push this, let's make sure we're running clean. Oops. Let's go cargo run. All right. So preview. Enter key's not working. Great. Cargo run. And then let's do a search. And then scroll. Scroll. Scroll with the arrows. Nothing. All right. Nothing. Scroll. Just trying to break it. All right. Let's do that again. Can we escape it? Okay. Escape works. Close. All right. Cool. That looks good. So if we go get status, working clean. I like to kind of see the visual representation using GitHub Desktop. And come on, go back to LinUtil. So if we see the history, this is just a binary file. All right, then we can see this branch main. This is our rebase, it looks like. So this is there. Okay, that is just his, but here is our commit. And then we have that push. So then we just push to origin and everything's right with the world. So now LinUtil's up and going. All those things are done and we're good. Next pull request. DWM Titus PR. I think we did. There's a couple outstanding PRs in DWM Titus, but usually if either of those two outstanding ones, I think for this one, I want to change it a little bit. Hell, let's just do it real fast. Why we're here. LinUtil's looking good though. I'm feeling really good about that. Let's just go main branch. I didn't think, it was just from a compile. Just leave them on that branch. It's fine. Let's just delete this. Just the local branch is what I want to delete. Fetch. Okay. So from here, let's check out that branch and we're going to just go here. We got 2 open PRs right now. Fezzo's usually the one I really like. There was one change I really kind of wanted to make to here. So I liked the icon size change. This was one I really kind of wanted to test. So let's just check out this pull request. And then we have that checked out. And what we're going to do now is now you can see we're on Fezzo's PR 44. Let's just do a sudo make clean install. So, but before we do this merge, what I want to do is test it and see what it looks like. Cool. So this is done. Now we're going to just kind of dump this and then kablam. Oh, that was underwhelming. Oh, there it goes. All right. Relaunch. So we're relaunched into here. Now it completely broke my run. So the CMD merge, which someone in chat actually mentioned earlier, did not work. Oh, the LinUtil DWM option. Okay. Yeah. This one from Fezzo actually was no good. It's the first bad PR I got from Fezzo. Sad face. Happens to the best of us. That's okay. So I kind of still like the PR. I just want to fix a few things. That's all. So let's go into config. So here's the PR that we got. And the fix I have here, this CMD with the VA args, this just isn't working. So really what this should be is that, and him changing this, we needed to add back in that tur So I think that was a definition. I wanted to do it offline, but that's okay. We can. That's right. It's not launching anymore. Why was that thorium? Jeez, no. All my hotkeys aren't working because of that. 1 second. I'm going to fix this PR real fast, and then we'll resubmit. And what was that? Big.h. Where was that? All right, there it is. See, I like that. And looking back on this, that's good. Status bar, launcher, and heck, let's just launch that. All right. So we'll go term CMD, spawn the terminal. Just a couple little minor gripes with the PR that we just got to clean up. I wonder what his idea was behind the CMD and the SH CMD. It's kind of interesting to me. Anyways, that looks better. I think that pretty much addresses all the concerns I had with the PR. Let's see what else was changed in that PR. Fezzo. I like that, liked all that. Icon size, that was good. Oh, the spacing was fine. Switch that back around. And yeah, I feel like that's good. We might do like an if statement in C here that would just grab Terminator, Alacrity, and we'd have like a cascading waterfall effect that says, hey, if their terminal is Alacrity, set it to that. If it's Kitty, set it to that. If it's Terminator, set it to that. And then it slowly go down the line, finding the proper terminal to actually launch. We'd have to be a little more, almost play which terminal's better than the other. Be a little opinionated. But I think in the end, it would cause people not have to set this config at all. I think that'd be kind of cool. And WSL Ubuntu, a good option to learn. Yeah, WSL is good for a lot of that. Hey, what's up, Tails? PRs are going good, Jay. It's been good. Oh, no. Twitch is being janky. Yeah, I can't really help with Twitch. I mean, other than a refresh. Twitch sometimes really doesn't like ad blockers, too. Much like YouTube. YouTube has the same problem, honestly. The background, I'm using Fey for DWM. No spawn bash layer? No. SH will take care of it. SH is dynamically linked usually to bash or ZSH. So you want to do SH instead of saying bash. I mean, technically, most people have bash installed anyways, but I'd much rather call SH, which usually is linked to their default terminator or their default shell, hence SH for shell. At least that's how I remember it. Okay. So I think with this, we should have fixed pretty much everything. All the concerns I had. We do have some extra voids for auto start exec and get status bar PID, but I don't think that should impact anything. So let's quit that out. Let's quit that out. And we can just come, jeez. Damn it. All right. Alacrity. ZDWM. Sudo make clean install. All right. And then just relaunch. So now we're back in business and my terminal works great. We have all that set. So if we go ZDWM, get status. Let's just drop that, whatever's in that stash file. Get status. That looks pretty good. But why are we submitting the .o and the... Let's just go star.o. Remove DWM. Okay, so then we've got modified config.h. We've removed those binaries. I feel like that's pretty good. And now I think if we go into like GitHub Desktop, we should see those changes. Minor fixes. And we'll just commit that, push to that PR branch. And then I'm going to see if I can't merge that. Is that going to break everything? I don't know. I just noticed my Thorium browser's not working. Oh, crap. That was set improperly in here too, wasn't it? Star.o DWM config.start. Well, that's not right. We don't want to ignore config. Config.h needs to go. Well, damn it. And then the launcher's fine. What do we got for... It broke XDG open. So the XDG open https:// no longer functions. Huh. Command, no bash, no environment. Okay. Just want to say thank you. I feel like I know nothing watching you, but I can feel extra brain folds form when every VOD I watch. Great to catch you live. Good to hear, Trident. Sometimes, a lot of times when I'm streaming like this, I feel like a complete idiot. But remember, you are awesome. It helps. Just having that giant beach scene saying, hey, I'm awesome. Thanks. Thanks, background. If I'm so awesome, why isn't my browser launching, though? The hard-hitting questions. All right. Let's go into what changed out of that GitHub or the config.h. Darn it. So if you look, the XDG open is still a sh command. But whatever changed between this version and the version I'm on, this no longer functions. Why is that? This used to work. No user. Is there no... I don't see a user variable. If you look. So this is the command that should be run. No changes to dependencies. Should just work. Oh, really? It didn't update the kernel, but it updated everything else, Hunter. Interesting. I wonder what Clem did differently. I'll have to load up Mint on a VM and try it out. That's very interesting. At this point, I almost want to just deny this PR. It's just... it's just not... There's just too much wrong with it. I'm just going to drop it. If you have a PR go completely sideways on you and you just can't quite get it to work, it's just not worth. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Can we go over hot takes time? Yeah. What do you got for me? I'm always down for a hot take. As long as it's not politics, I'm usually good. Learning programming is going well. Every day is a little bit... I think a lot of people think it just clicks one day and then you just become like a Primogen or whatnot. Programming is a very slow skill to learn. And it's... at least for me. And, you know, it's just little by little. You just kind of chip away at it until finally one day you don't suck. And you're just like, I'm mediocre. Or I'm okay. And then you just slowly chip away at it a bit more and get a little bit better. But that's just programming in a nutshell. Yeah, fast isn't always better. And like I said, I'm in no rush. We're just going to keep chipping away at it, and little by little be like, hey, like today we did like if-else statements, and then I was like, oh, okay, the underscore for grabbing, you know, more like wildcard keys in this certain function returns none, so those keys won't do anything. It's kind of nice. So that's kind of what we learned today in Rust. Here's a hot take. Vim is better than anything else. Is that? I mean, I think almost every Vim user thinks that. Do you recommend AMD or Intel CPUs on Linux? Usually Intel. Intel's a little bit more reliable in my experience. So for my personal experiences, I usually roll Intel anymore. Not that AMD's bad. I mean, I think AMD's a better value proposition and is better from a budget perspective. I just think Intel is more reliable, even though I hate them as a company. So, I mean, I'm okay when people say, hey, I like my AMD. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You get more bang for your buck. But at the same time, I think Intel's just a little bit more reliable. I think when I say that, let me give you a little more specific examples. There's this like BIOS update firmware you have to do on AMD chips. Like, I forget what it's called. I want to say like Aegis or something, but that's not it. And if you don't keep up with that, I mean, it can be problematic and it can cause some stability issues. And you don't get quietly you can see performance bumps from it, but also you can run into bugs with it. It's just a little janky. It's a little more janky than how Intel does their updates. So I always do that. And Intel is totally evil AF. Totally agree with that. No debate with that. But at the end of the day, I just care about reliability. I just want my system, when I hit the power button, to just turn on every single time and give me the same performance as it did yesterday, today. And Intel does a better job of that. Yeah, Aegisa. Yeah, whatever the hell that is. Intel soft locking features bothers me. Yeah, me too. Like, there's no reason for, I think, what is it, the F series on the chip unlocks it, but if you don't get the F, then it's not locked. They got a lot of jank. Like I said, they're a terrible company, but I find their chips just a little bit more reliable in personal experience. And Vim being better than any other editor out there, well, that's just facts. I mean, there's no debate there. I'm just too much of a smooth brain to really utilize, 99% of Vim. My Vim, just see me hacking around on it from time to time. Intel got a lot of stability problems with 13th and 14th gen. Well, I mean, my laptop's 14th gen, and I haven't run into very many issues. But then again, it depends on where you're getting. That's the tricky part with Linux. Are you talking stability issues with Linux in particular, AD, or are you talking Windows? Because you got to be a little specific there. RISC-V about to destroy Intel and ARM. Well, I'm here for it, Warren. I am loving that idea. I would love to see RISC just completely destroy Intel. That would be awesome. I can work on all three. That's how I am, UTK. You'd see me bouncing around. Sometimes I'm pulling up Vim. A lot of times I'm like, doing like a VS Code, which that's a cursor. And let's look at this PR one more time. Man, I really just went crazy with that. The problem with this one, I think what I'm going to do, the git ignore is wrong. The make file is correct though. Let's do a code cleanup real fast of this. So what we're gonna do, all right, we're just gonna replace all this with Fezzo's edit, gcom, Fezzo make file, and then what else are we gonna grab from this PR? I'm gonna just cannibalize it. I think this one, no, you need to make. Probably this README as well. I might just rework this README. I feel like, yeah, it's fine though. I think it's good overall. I like that little expansion with the patches. Yeah, let's just grab this old README file. And then what else we got? The README was great. And then I think we're gonna just dump the config. These are fine, but I do want to drop all of those. So if we look here, let's remove. Oh, there's no star.os, and DWM isn't here at all. So sudo make clean install. Okay, before we push this, I just want to make sure we're good. And if we look at the status, the only thing being submitted is DWM in the release folder and then the DWM tar. That is so good. All right, great. So let's test that. And then we're going to relaunch. Got that. The browser still works. Everything's gravy. And I like it. All right, cool. DWM, lazy G it. And we're going to go and push this to new v0.2 update. Perfect. So with that new update, with this PR, we'll have DWM in a more solid state. I feel like if we look at GitHub now, there shouldn't be like any .o files hanging out or any other junk or garbage in here. So whenever it's building, we don't have a whole bunch of leftovers. There's no origins or rejections in the releases. You can see 6.5 right here with the new dot update, and then I can create a release later today. Perfect. I have a great challenge for you. Oh boy. RISC-V has years to come. Well, yeah, I bought a RISC-V thing. It's slow as molasses. It's not anywhere near actually taking over that. Yeah, it's okay, Pickley. We all have the days where we kind of swing and miss. That's all right. Would you add a section to set up a clipboard and notification manager in LinUtil? Yeah. Notification manager, what do we like? I usually use Dunce for notifications, but there's a bunch of different ways to skin that cat in Linux. Clipboard management. Oh, geez. What is it? Copy CQ or something like that I've used as well. That's a possible. I'll have to look at it. Let's see what Pickley's talking about. You say his filtering is not working on his end. So DWM's got a good one. We'll do a 0.2 update. I'll probably get that later tonight and do that release. and bash. Let's go bash. It's still working for me. Security. Huh. Okay. Oh, I can't navigate. I can't navigate anymore. Oh no. Oh, bummer. I can't go up and down after using the search box. Trying to get like back. No. JK. Up, down. Nope. No love. We have it right here, but as soon as we use search, come back. Oh no, it came back that time. But if we go search and then come back, then it doesn't come back on. I see the problem. That's a cool little bug. Yeah, no worries, man. Run a command when multiple show up, it will run the wrong one. Oh, so that's another issue. So there's actually 2 bugs. So let's say you go full. No, it grabbed that one. Oh, but if there's multiple commands, it'll actually run the wrong one is what you're saying. So there's 2 bugs. There's the, if your filter shows multiple commands, it won't run the right one. And then the second bug would be once you're browsing in here. So let's say you go like this. Okay, you can do that. But if you go bash. Huh. Okay, now it's not doing it. Okay, well, that's weird. So when I quit. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, never mind. I'm crazy. That bug was fine. DWM install script. Yeah, we're still working on it. Question the truth. Whether or not we'll get there. It's close for the dependencies on the setup. We're not quite 100% there. We're very, very close though. On this one, let's just go code. Let's just request changes. Couldn't make new additions work. Wouldn't launch terminal or browser using new cmd from config.h. Committed make file and readme changes though. Thanks, Fezzo. Close. And then the other PR, this one with the wallpaper fix and the at home, I think this one will be fine. I'm not sure if it's being able to pull the home variable on startup though. So that one's a little sus. I do like the Brillo, using that and checking that for like laptop users, maybe doing like a questionnaire for laptop users, and then setting this is the tricky part. The brightness keys on laptops in Linux is always a tricky endeavor. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one open. I think it should be fine. And then looking at LinUtil, I think we pretty much have solid for once we get those 1 bug squashed. I think we should be solid for a new second public release to kind of show the new additions. The Linux Toolbox. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we got our kind of, right now we're kind of working on the base functionality, kind of getting a lot of things working with Linux utility. The Linux Toolbox here, we've got a lot of it in the design kind of aspect of it. Like, where's our Excel draw? So we've kind of gotten a couple of these kind of earmarked, like MyBash, NeoVim setup. That's kind of there. The system setup, still some work to do with like the basic system setup. Gaming setup is close to being done, probably like 70%. The essential packages and stuff, let's see, build environment. So this one's probably like 80%. Container setup, we haven't really tackled. Theming setup is like 50%. We have a basic theme setup that honors both GTK and Qt apps. Using Kvantum, and doesn't matter you're using Qt or GTK. So the dark mode's pretty much done. Font setup is next. We're missing that. And then for a dev environment, that's almost done. We'll put that like at 70%. DWM Titus is getting close. We saw a couple commits that I'm going to go through. Bootloader grub themes. I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle that just yet. We already have a repo that sets up grub for you, but I don't know if I want to use it or not. I think I might just hard code all that directly into the app. We'll see on that. I do want to kind of have some of these separated out, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. Oh, check your PRs. Okay, let's see. Calum. Oh, pull request template. Let's see. What are we changing with these pull requests? Documentation. Oh, okay, cool. Approve, submit, simple fix. Knock out a couple more pull requests. Lots of pull requests. I love me some pull requests. And then documentation, linked. Dig it. All right, we're just adding documentation to the README. Perfect. And man, that's so cool. I love that. There's so many really neat things that we tackled today. I think we'll wind it down for the day, y'all. This was a great endeavor. A little bit of Rust programming, not too much. A lot of PRs, a lot of different touching all the different Linux things today. Probably for Thursday, Hyperland for sure. And then this weekend, I'll probably do a Windows utility stream, because usually the weekend streams only like 50 or 100 people join those. So usually I can get a lot done because there's a lot less chat. I love chat, but sometimes I'm like, man, all right, if I had less people, it'd be easier to focus on the stuff. But I love it either way. It's fun kind of getting that back and forth. As more people join chat and actually start contributing code, it actually turns from actually coding to do more code review, which I like both. You can learn a lot from code review. You can learn a lot from coding. I think you need a lot of both in that respect. So very, very cool. Yeah, very educational. I love it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll tackle Hyperland for Thursday. Just kind of take a little bit of break from code review and PRs and jump into just exploring Hyperland, because it's been 6 months or so. And I think I actually told Vaxry, I lost a bet to him about those stupid ARM laptops working. They actually do work in Linux kind of after some hacking. So it's kind of like, did I lose that bet? I mean, they still suck, but they do technically work. So we're going to revisit Hyperland and give it a good shake and update Hyperland Titus probably. Anytime I like to revisit these projects, whether it's like NixOS or whatnot, I've been trying to get better. Like, let's say you want to replicate anything I do. We're going to actually tackle this a little bit. This actually doesn't have any outstanding PRs. How about that? So we're going to take the Hyperland config that we have here. We'll do a basic look at it, and then we're going to try to install it and see what we get. We'll probably do it on a brand new VM, as I don't really want to bloat up my current system. And I don't think we'll end up obviously on this, because personally, I really like DWM for its simplicity. But if I was going to move to Wayland tomorrow, Hyperland is where I'd be. So that's where I'm kind of at. So we'll tackle this a little bit more. I think I'll probably clean some of this up. I imagine I'm going to bring some of my DWM customizations directly in and kind of change some of this to be a little more basic, as I think there's just a little too much flair, the gaps alone, and I don't know. We'll tinker. We'll tinker with that on Thursday. Should be fun. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Peace.